Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Sunday, January 14th, 2024, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App, $ ORIONNWSF, or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got the NFC Wild Card Playoffs, the Los Angeles Rams versus the Detroit Lions. Kickoff is going to be here in about 15 minutes. What will happen today with Matthew Stafford, Kyron Williams, Cooper Kupp, and Puka Nacua going against the Detroit Lions and Jared Goff and the Goffense? Who else will step up for them? Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and obviously we were getting closer and closer to kickoff to see if Sam Laporta, even though he's injured, will try to give it a go. Hope everyone is having a fantastic Sunday night, and we just got the wrap-up of the Green Bay Packers beating up on the Dallas Cowboys. It just seems like every single year it's the same story at the end. A fantastic regular season team, but never can get the job done in the playoffs. So shout out to Green Bay for getting the dub. And I don't necessarily, want to say it, but is this playoffs this season and the 2023 season as was overlapping into 2024, is this the most boring NFL playoffs that we've seen up to this point? I mean, there's all blowouts, and I'm hoping that this is going to be the showcase game. I would assume Buffalo will blow out Pittsburgh. Maybe the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Philadelphia Eagles is semi-close like this game. It really depends on if the Rams show up or if Tampa Bay shows up in their game against Philly. If they don't, then we know the Lions and the Eagles will advance. But I feel that, ironically, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Philadelphia Eagles and this Rams and Detroit game may be the two best games of the entire 3-day NFL wildcard weekend playoff stint. I was really hoping that the games would be competitive and they would be closer, but it just seems like every single matchup has ended up in an insane blowout. I mean, I don't think anyone anticipated the Texans, winning 45-14 over Cleveland, and then seeing the Chiefs, mollywop Miami 26-7. Then we said, okay, all right, we got two blowouts, on Saturday. Let's get these Sunday games going. And I thought that, maybe Dallas would win, maybe they wouldn't, but I knew Green Bay had a good record on the road in Dallas. And lo and behold, getting off to a slow start, a great regular season team that can't cash in the postseason. Bye-bye, Mike McCarthy. Hello, Bill Belichick or someone else. But even if you hire Bill Belichick for Dallas, that doesn't mean you're going to win a playoff game. You have to be able to find a way to get the job done in the playoffs. And then for all the Seattle Seahawks fans saying, hey, we want Dan Quinn. Do you? Do you really want Dan Quinn? They just gave up the most points in Dallas Cowboy playoff history. Do you really want that guy to be the head coach after Pete Carroll? So it's something to think about. Going into this game, a lot of people are like, yeah, Dan Quinn, he was a part of the roster with the Legion of Boom. He could be the guy. But remember, he wasn't very good at Atlanta when he was a head coach. Some guys, like Josh McDaniels and Dan Quinn, they might be good coordinators, but when they become head coaches, not so much. So it'll be very, very interesting to see how this game plays out. And hopefully, for our sake as fans, hopefully this Rams and Lions matchup ends up being great. Hopefully it goes down to the wire. Hopefully it ends up being like a 31-28 kind of game. Whoever has the ball last wins the game. And I feel that the Detroit Lions story has been a fantastic story all year, including myself. I've been rooting for them to be able to overcome. And now you finally play a team storyline-wise with Matthew Stafford, the former quarterback of the Lions. The Rams have a legitimate shot to be able to beat the Lions on the road. It's not about being the best team in the NFL, okay? It's not about being the best team when you go into the playoffs. It's all about being hot and being healthy. Did you go 3-1 in December? Did you go 4-0 in December? If you did, you have a higher probability to be able to advance. If you struggled, going in, like the Philadelphia Eagles, right? There is a chance that Tampa, if Baker plays, I'm not sure if he will, that the Tampa Bay Bucks have a small little chance. Even though they're at home, the Philadelphia Eagle roster is better than my Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I can admit that. I can admit that 100%. But the thing is with Jalen, A.J. Brown's not playing. They've looked very stagnant. They've looked very stiff. They looked very not Philadelphia Eagle-like. They started off 10-1 and have been on a big skid. So this is an opportunity for Tampa to be able to win. We're the only team in the last 4 years to make the playoffs. The first two, we were contenders. These last two, we're pretenders. And I know that, and that's okay. But what would make me happier than anything, is to be able to beat the Philadelphia Eagles if we can find a way. I'm not sure if we can. And if Baker doesn't play, what are we going to get? A Marcus Mariota, Kyle Trask matchup? That's going to be a snooze fest. So hopefully, it ends up being a good game here tonight. So that way when we go into tomorrow and we watch the Bills and the Steelers, and the Bills mollywop the Steelers most likely, right? It would be shocking if the Steelers beat them. And then with the Philadelphia Eagles, they should beat Tampa, right? Tampa and the Pittsburgh Steelers are the two worst teams going into the playoffs. I was the worst team last year as well. And we got beat by the Cowboys, which I knew we would. And maybe the Cowboys were thinking, hell, if we played Tampa Bay every year, we'd be good to go. But I'm hoping Matthew Stafford has his moment. I hope Jared Goff and the Goffense has his moment as well. And I just hope that we have at least one good game out of the 6, because if this ends up being a blowout, from either team, Rams or Lions, and then we go into tomorrow and the Bills beat the Steelers by 20 or 30, the Eagles beat the Bucks by 20 or 30, it's going to be a very underwhelming, playoff, except unless you are what? If you're a Houston Texan fan, you're on cloud 9 with CJ Stroud. If you're a Green Bay Packer fan, you're on cloud 9 with Jordan Love. So if you're one of those two fan bases or franchises, you're on cloud 9, just like in Superstore that I'm watching right now. Cloud 9, baby, right? But for all the rest, a lot of disappointment for Cleveland Brown fans, a lot of disappointment for the Miami Dolphins fans, a lot of disappointment in the Dallas Cowboy fans. And we said, we damn boys, maybe this is the year. Maybe this is the year that they actually win a game or two and play the Niners and lose in the NFC Championship game. But you couldn't even get the job done, and it just feels, like every single year you can be 11-6. You can be 12-5, 3 years in a row, but it doesn't fucking matter. Your team is fucking cursed. It doesn't matter who you match up against. It seems like you're never, ever going to be able to win a couple games. Beating Tampa Bay last year is one thing. We were a dog shit team. You should have won, right? But with the Dallas Cowboys today, you would think, okay, based off record, they maybe should have won this game. But remember, the Green Bay Packers were very, very hot. Going into this little stretch at the beginning of the season, they struggled. Jordan Love had 18 touchdowns, 1 pick going in to this little playoff push. So it shows you, you don't have to be the best team. You just have to be the hot and healthy team and the best team right now. And I know it's hard for people to fathom where a team could look like dog shit for 2 months and then turn it around, or go through highs and lows like we do in life, right? But never underestimate the heart of a champion. Never underestimate the talent of the new QBs coming into their prime with CJ Stroud and Jordan Love being very young. But it shows that the NFL is in good hands. And we already know, is Jordan Love going to play like that every game? No. Is CJ Stroud going to play like that every game? No. But it shows that maybe the Green Bay Packers, made the right decision. But also let's remember, if Aaron Rodgers never got hurt, the Jets might have had a good opportunity with a top 5 defense, Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, and everything they had there, to say, oh, Jordan Love is so much better than Aaron Rodgers. Well, we don't really know. Chances are Aaron Rodgers would have been an MVP candidate. Chances are Garrett Wilson would have been a top 5 receiver this year. Chances are that the Jets, Jets, if Aaron Rodgers was able to stay healthy, maybe they overachieve. They're a top 4 seed in the AFC, and maybe they make the AFC championship game. We can't really say, coulda, woulda, shoulda. He got hurt the first game. But I do like the direction of the Green Bay Packers and the Jets with Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love. Short term for the Jets to see if they can get anything out of Aaron Rodgers. But until they go from turf to grass, who knows how many more Jet players are going to get hurt before they make the switch, or if they make it mandatory by the NFL that everyone has to have grass, no one has turf, so we don't have to have the turf monster ACL, MCL, PCL tears. It's just sad. But it is nice for the Texan fans and Packer fans to have a little bit of joy, and it shows you, you can be a great team during the regular season, or be hot kind of late, like maybe the Cowboys or the Browns. But, game plan is everything. And if you end up doing the same thing over and over and over, and you're running trips left, trips right with CD in the slot, you don't think that Green Bay is going to figure that out? Chemistry is everything, and I don't know what it is about certain teams like the Dallas Cowboys choking in the playoffs, the Los Angeles Chargers choking every year, having bad defense, and never being able to get past that injury curse. But it just seems like certain teams are cursed forever in the NFL. Let's go to the top of the page here to see what kind of comments we got. And hopefully we can end up getting some good people in the room, which I know we will. Make sure you guys like, sub, donate, comment, share, help your boy out. I'm on live on Twitter right now as well. So shout out to all the people on Twitter/X watching. If you can help me out on there and like and retweet the live stream there, that'll help us get more people here, as well as spies being able to see what we're doing on the Twitter/X. Megan in the building. Go Kraken. 9-game winning streak. Let's go. Release the Kraken. Defend the deep. Oh, baby. Seattle Kraken. Lit, lit, lit. I love it. Hybrid in the building. What's good? Ravens flock in the building. I know you're happy that the Browns went down, so it makes that, that trip to be able to get to the Super Bowl maybe one step easier. Now, we know the playoff format, maybe the Browns are out and you may not have to face them. You might have to face CJ Stroud or one of these other teams or the Buffalo Bills at some point. But it seems like the path for the Ravens got a little bit easier, and then the path for the Niners got a little bit easier as well. But if the Rams win this game, and they keep going on a win streak, it's the same thing with the Browns and the Ravens, a team in the division. You don't want to end up playing, Niners, Rams in the NFC Championship game. I'm not saying the Rams are winning this game and they're going to go all the way to the NFC Championship game. But if they were to do that, and we saw some crazy magic in the NFL, right? I wouldn't want to be the Niners playing the Rams, even though we know the Niners are one of the top teams in the entire NFL with the Ravens, right? But who knows them better than anybody else in the division besides Arizona and the Seattle Seahawks, the Los Angeles Rams? So remember, it's not about who the best team is in the regular season. It's whoever is hot and healthy at the right time in November, specifically December, and as we're going into the playoff push. Sarah in the building, what's good? Let's get to 100 in donos. Let's do it. Dave Chappelle's dad in the building. Gang, 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 gang. Chappelle Show in the building. What's good, brother? Smash the like button, baby. Let's go. You know what? I don't know what's going on with the NFL this year. I mean, I'm still going to have a good time, but can we have at least one good game out of the 6? And I'm even saying that with the Tampa Bay game and the Philadelphia Eagles. It could get ugly. I don't think anyone on planet Earth, including myself, wants to watch Marcus Mariota, even though I'm a Duck fan, go against Kyle Trask. That's a snooze fest. I mean, hell, even if we got Jalen and we got Baker, if they play bad, people are going to be tuning out. So I'm just hoping, that the Buffalo Bills and the Pittsburgh Steelers bring it the best they can. And the same thing with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going against the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't think the Steelers have a chance against the Bills, but I do think Tampa has a small chance against Philadelphia, regardless if Jalen plays or not. And I do think the Rams have a chance tonight. If I was going to say out of all 6 games, what's the game that will be more than likely, the closest 50-50 matchup? And it's this game tonight, and that's why we're doing it. Los Angeles Rams, Sean McVay. I've been telling you guys for years and years and years that him and Kyle Shanahan would both win Super Bowls, and this was years ago. I told you, these are the 2 smartest intellectual coaches with play calling and scheme to find the weaknesses on the other side in the entire league. Hands down. Kyle Shanahan tried to get it done in many, many places. 28-3 with the Falcons, with Jimmy G and the Niners. It just feels like it's a matter of time that Shanahan will get his ring. McVay made the trade. Goff, Stafford, he got his. But I think a lot of people are misunderstood, with the Sean McVay status and how good he really is. Look at the players that he brought up this season. They're very, very young. Aaron Donald isn't the same Aaron Donald as he was a few years ago. And we have 2 brand new superstars out of it this year, not only in the fantasy terms, but also in real life, with Kyron Williams being an unstoppable running back and Puka Nacua. I can't wait. Jared Goff and the Goffheads, Matthew Stafford, the best game of the weekend over the 3 days. Buckle up. Let's get ready, and let's fucking have some fun. Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. Yeah, I don't know if Ben Johnson's going to answer those problems either. So... there's all these names that can be out there, as far as rumors and whatnot. And, maybe Ben Johnson gets a job. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe Quinn gets a job. Maybe he doesn't. But like I said, regular season coaching is one thing. right? But when you end up getting to the playoffs or you end up getting into the tourney, that's when things change. Legacies are made not in the regular season. They're made in the postseason. Believe that. Matt Payton in the building. I appreciate you, Matt, trying to help your boy out on the Twitter/X. I support you. You support me. I really do appreciate that. A lot of people are either lazy, right, or they just don't care. And so for you to be able to help me out and go above and beyond with the post on Twitter/X, I really do appreciate you. Air Jordan in the building. Let's go, baby. Packers in the building. What's good? Dallas down, bad. But again, even if you hire Bill Belichick, Bill Belichick's message went in one year, out the other, right? Do you think really Bill Belichick is going to work? And would Jerry Jones let Bill Belichick have full control? Would he let him, go through all of the control? And that's something to be able to think about as we're moving forward. So I know it's kind of a sexy thing to think, oh, wow, what happens if Bill Belichick ends up being the coach? But just because Bill ends up being the coach, I don't think that guarantees them a playoff win whatsoever. They got a good defense, supposedly, right? But Dan Quinn didn't look very good today. The defense didn't look very good today. Packers look great. And there's no excuses. The Cowboys were at home, but it shows you history has a way of repeating itself year in, year out, year in, year out, game in, game out, month in, month out. Green Bay was like 6-0, going into Dallas, throughout the playoffs and through the regular season. And you think, well, Green Bay's not that good, even though they've won the last 6 times and they're undefeated against Dallas. Here we go. Would they actually be able to do it? And I think sometimes those stats creep into people's heads, whether they want to admit it or not. They know that they have a losing streak or a winning streak against the team. And, what can I say? Dallas Cowboys, one of the biggest frauds in the NFL. Very, very sad. I wish them the best of luck, but it is what it is. You already know what it is. O-line, D-line, defense, coaching, play calling. Fantastic job by Jordan Love. Fantastic job by LaFleur and company. All right, here we go. First down and 10. Goff under center. Hands off. There we go. Yeah, Montgomery, baby. Let's get this scoreboard all refreshed. Oh, baby. Aaron Donald, Amon-Ra St. Brown. You know what, baby? Yeah, and and obviously the Packers are going to be very, very, very big underdogs. But again, so are the Rams, in this game and some of these other teams. Like, besides the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, we're frauds. We are the real frauds. We shouldn't even be in the playoffs. The Saints should have been there last year and this year. We're not going to be able to make it to the NFC Championship game. We don't have the proper team, the proper depth, the proper everything, and I know that, and that's fine. But that doesn't mean that we can't spoil the Philadelphia Eagles season. Everyone know on Philadelphia, they still believe that they can go to the Super Bowl and win. So they're obviously delusional. So what a way to be able to even out the score is having the shittiest team in the NFL besides the Pittsburgh Steelers in the playoffs beat one of the top teams in the NFL 2 months ago, but is a team that's reeling now. So we'll find out what happens tomorrow, but hopefully this game ends up being good tonight. Kobe Turner, he's nice. Let's go, baby. I mean, it's a very simple formula. O-line, D-line, defense, coaching, play calling. It does not matter. Quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end. It's like 95% of the fan bases across the country. That's all what people care about. They're buying the Dak jersey. They're buying the CD. They're not buying the defensive jerseys. They're not buying O-line. They should. Goff, first down and 10. Amon-Ra St. Brown, first down, Lions. Hashtag one pride, move the chains. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Yeah, and like I said, if you know those stats and you go in and you look at the, okay, regular season wins, okay, in the Super Bowl, playoffs, and people think, oh, that shit doesn't matter. It does, because what do we see? We see history tend to repeat itself over and over. Even if the roster is different, the coach is different, the year is different, it doesn't matter. I don't know why it's not like that. I mean, we usually, history is meant to be broken, but remember, it's not broken as often as people think or want. when we have records broken in sports, there's opportunities for things to happen, but how often do the things actually happen? We talk about it, but typically it doesn't happen. Like if you end up having Cinderella stories in 1 year for, college hoops, baseball, basketball, football, hockey, everything. How many Cinderella stories do we end up having? Maybe 10? Out of those 10 Cinderella stories in all the major sports, including college, how many at the end of the day where they put on Cinderella's slipper and it fits? Like maybe one or none. So, that's the story and how things go. And I feel bad for Dallas, but it's a very good sign for not only Green Bay, but Jordan Love, the fan base, and LaFleur. So I'll give them a nice salute. They did a fantastic job. And for the Dallas Cowboys, yeah, you can get rid of McCarthy. You already got arguably a top 3 defensive coordinator who shit the bed. Something needs to change, but I'm not sure if it's just Bill Belichick. It has to be the culture, and like I said, regular season teams, 12-5, 3 years in a row, to shit the bed every single year except for last year beating the Bucs, who are the worst team in the playoffs. Not a good look if you're a Dallas Cowboy fan. Goff, there's Laporta, my boy. Let's go. For real, though. Salute to him. Daniel in the building. What's good? Yeah, I can't wait till you get your puck and you can show me a picture. Big Dawes in the building. What's good? All right, I think I'm all caught up now. Okay, but the thing is when you look at the teams, right, there's usually going to be powerhouse team and then the other team, right? And so when we think of the powerhouse team, nice catch, right, you just assume that they're going to get the job done on the home field or on the road. But it shows you the playoffs are a whole nother animal, right? So even if the Packers were 9-1 in the last 10 meetings and 6-0 in the last 6, right? A lot of people, do you think they really bet on Green Bay? Did they really think that Green Bay was going to win? A lot of people penciled in Dallas in the NFC Championship game. This is the year. This is the year. This is the year. We damn boys. This is the year. And then every single year, it's the same damn story. First and goal. Besides last year beating Tampa. So at least they broke the mold, where they actually won a playoff game. But it was like an unmeaningful playoff game. So you're telling me as a Dallas Cowboys, you beat Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when they were hobbling into the playoffs. The Saints should have made it last year, but they didn't. So somebody had to represent the shitty NFC South. And then you went in there and we got our ass kicked and we lost, which we should have. I mean, could you imagine if Dallas would have lost to Tampa last year? So at least they have something going for them. But this is the end of Mike McCarthy. And even if Belichick comes, it doesn't mean that they're going to win playoff games. Second and goal, handoff. Touchdown, Lions! Hashtag one pride. Let's go, baby. He said, are we going to go for 2? Go for 1, baby. Extra point is up, and it's good. Let's go. I did see that as well. I did see that. And even though Jordan Love, looked very shaky early on, the team had a lot of injuries. They didn't look very good. It was pretty much, we were talking about the Detroit Lions the whole year. Minnesota going through their quarterback carousel. Green Bay was just kind of floating, kind of unnoticed. And then in the last 2 months, Jordan Love got kind of hot. And I don't think a lot of people really recognized it, except for Green Bay Packer fans or someone like me that actually watches all 32 teams and follows really closely. But when you end up seeing a stat, going into the playoffs where a quarterback is 18 touchdowns and 1 pick, chances are they're playing really, really good football. That's like some Tom Brady, Peyton Manning kind of numbers. So, if you're a hater of Jordan Love and the Packers, fine, but you can't hate on stats like 18 touchdowns, 1 pick, as you're, making your transition into this playoff push. And obviously Uncle Mo, like I keep telling y'all, Uncle Mo is real. Why do you think Peter Schrager steals Uncle Mo and talks about it on Good Morning Football? Because Uncle Mo and that Uncle momentum is real. Sometimes Uncle Mo will last for a play. Sometimes Uncle Mo will sit on the couch, on the sideline. Maybe it'll last a quarter. Sometimes a half. Sometimes a game. Sometimes it lasts multiple games, right? And that's what we're seeing with the Green Bay Packers and Jordan Love. And we'll see if the Rams can end up doing the same damn thing, as well as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But the difference is, with Green Bay, they would have a better chance of, competing and winning their game compared to like if Tampa ended up beating the Eagles. It's not like we're going to win the next round. I would be very shocked. And hell, we might not even win tomorrow. But if I can spoil someone's season, and we obviously know that fan base likes to talk. And I kept telling them, the more you talk and the more that you're going to be extra, you're going to end up having sports karma. Regardless if it's against me or another team, it's going to happen. They blew me off. They said, no. I'm going to keep doing more annoying TikTok videos for us and our fan base. And then lo and behold, you ended up shitting the bed for the last 2 months. You're 10-1. No one believes in you. And the franchise looks like they're in shambles. It's crazy how things can be so good for Philadelphia for the first 2 months of the season, 3 months, and they look like, oh, Super Bowl team. Oh, Super Bowl contender. One of the best teams in the NFL with the Cowboys and the Niners. One of the best teams overall in the AFC and the NFC. And then all of a sudden hitting the wall, injuries, hitting the wall, bad play. And then one loss turned into another, into another. And we'll see if the spiraling will end against Tampa or not. Let's do it. Support your boy. That's an understatement. They've looked terrible. We can be honest. They have looked terrible since the 10-1 start. They have not looked good. They haven't looked like they could beat anybody. And even though Tampa is a lower team, small market, we're shitty. I know it. When my team is good, you're going to know it. Like when we had Brady and Gronk, or when we had Derek Brooks and Warren Sapp, I don't need to brag. You guys already know that we're good. I don't need to be extra. You know it as other fans of other teams. But, when you know that you're not good, everyone also knows that you're not good either. Big facts. 7-0 Lions. And that's why I'm always going to be humble about it. I don't need to be extra with my Ducks, Bucks, Blazers, or Mariners, or Kraken. It is what it is. You have to call a spade a spade. Sometimes people are just too dumb to realize it. Let's go, baby. And I appreciate, Elliot, you helping out on the Twitter X site as well. Appreciate you. And Sarah, thank you. All right, Lions, your turn. Handoff. And you got to understand, too, the reason why the Rams are so intriguing in this game. We know the Lions' offense is amazing, right? I went draft heavy crazy with them. I went David Montgomery, Amon-Ra, and I ended up picking Laporta in fantasy week 1 on the wire. So I believed in this team from the very, very start. But one thing is clear. Other than Aiden Hutchinson, they can't be trusted on defense. So they have a lot of weaknesses on that defensive side of the ball. With the Rams, their defense isn't really that good either. But I think I would trust the Rams defense slightly more than the Lions. And then the Rams offense is like surprisingly good. Like Kyren Williams plays like a top 10 running back. Puka plays like a top 5 wide receiver. Stafford has been playing like a top 10 quarterback, for the last couple months. You know what I mean? Believe it or not, I know a lot of guys when they get older, you got the noodle arm, you got the Drew Brees, you got the Phillip Rivers. You're garbage. You can't do it anymore. But you're starting to see, all these guys that are breaking records, they're with Matthew Stafford, right? You ever think about that? Megatron, Matthew Stafford. There's always going to be guys. Cooper Kupp, Matthew Stafford. Puka Nacua, Matthew Stafford. He is that piece that's linked to all three players. Stafford is a little bit better than people are giving him credit for. 3rd down and 1. Hand the ball off. Play action fake. And complete. Any flags? There it is. They don't like that. Eminem doesn't like that call. Flag on the play. 7-0 Lions. And, I think it's also, too, when you're not biased and we can just accept, football for what it is. Even though, the Seahawks making the playoffs would have been awesome, not for just the Pacific Northwest fans or Reflect or with Megan, right? The Rams story with the Stafford and Goff and switching teams, obviously gives you a little bit more on the taste buds and on the plate, as far as storyline is concerned. But the Rams have actually been playing pretty good football, and they have, I don't know, I want to say they have been as hot as maybe Green Bay, but they've been playing pretty fucking good football as of late for a 10-7 team. Stafford, 1st down and 10, man in motion. Stafford, play action fake. Pressure on the edge, steps up in the pocket, goes to his check down. Kyren Williams And they got guys like Darrell Henderson that they don't even need to fucking use. Think about that for a second. Remember a couple years back, Darrell Henderson was actually pretty good. Some of us had him in fantasy. They don't even fucking worry about him anymore. They're just going to go Kyron, Cooper Kupp, Puka. They got Demarcus Robinson there and Higbee. Offensive line is a weakness for them as well as the defense. They got a lot of young players and they got a lot of holes. But again, Sean McVay will get this team coached up to the point where even if they're the underdog, they're not going to play like it. And I like that. That's what really makes the difference for me with Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay. And Sean McVay should get a lot of kudos for getting this team to the playoffs and getting this team to play as good as they have in the last few months. The Rams have no business being in the playoffs for as young as this team is, But again, we ended up not even getting one superstar that Sean McVay created. We got two. And we're not even talking about a couple years ago with Cooper Kupp, right? Or Robert Woods, right? Because he's no longer on the team. Kyron Williams, right, and Puka Nacua, they look fantastic. But remember, if Sean McVay doesn't tell them to get those guys the ball, we're not talking about those guys today, and they're probably not in the playoffs today. So remember that. Sean McVay is the one genius that's calling the plays. He's the one that's going to be able to get guys like Cooper Kupp, who was one of the most underrated wide receivers in the entire NFL with Tyler Lockett and DJ Moore, to separate from that, from being the most underrated to being one of the top 5 receivers in the NFL and having one of the best seasons overall with yards, receptions, and touchdowns of all time, Cooper Kupp. I got mad love and mad respect for McVay. And I think that, to even doubt him, it's like, okay, the roster is young, but this should be a big, big eye-opener for a lot of you guys that, follow coaches like I do. If you can get a team like the Rams to this point, with that thin of a roster, young of a roster, and you're able to get superstars out of it that other coaches wouldn't, it's a big fucking eye-opener for this league. And, it's not like I think the Rams are going to win the Super Bowl or anything like that, but it does show you how dangerous they are. And, if you have a good play caller, you can be less talented overall, but if you know how to find the weaknesses in the defense, that's what evens the playing field. And who are the two coaches that are the best in the NFL on finding your weaknesses with long play calls, multiple audibles, and being able to find that hole in your weakness and being able to attack that weakness over and over again? Kyle Shanahan 1, Sean McVay number 2. And you're seeing it right here. Hey, congratulations, Air Whitey, Air Jordan, on the Green Bay Packer win. I don't see eye to eye with all Packer fans and the Packer franchise from time to time, but I can't hate, on the Green Bay Packers. I can't hate on the fans. I can't hate on Jordan Love. That would just be stupid, It's like you can still have dislike, for certain franchises, certain players, certain teams, like me being a Mariner fan against Altuve and the Astros, but I don't got anything negative to say about the Green Bay Packers. They did a fantastic job today. Reflect in the building. What's good, brother? Raiders. It's already decided. I already called the ownership. Right? I already had the meeting. You already know who it is. It's Antonio Pierce. He's going to get the job. And he deserves the job. If I didn't think that he deserved a job, I wouldn't have did the text message. I wouldn't have hit him with the phone call and the voicemail. Al Davis, and that family, the coaching, they usually don't get it right? But I think that you should give Antonio Pierce, at least if you want to give him a 2 to 3 year deal and then, fire him after a year, fine. Floater and complete. But I think that the players like him. It's very evident that Devontae Adams and Max Crosby and a lot of the leaders love him, right? He's a player's coach. They respect him. He's a former player. He wasn't a Hall of Famer, but that doesn't matter. He can relate to work ethic, scheme, and just, being real. And sometimes just being real, there's other guys out there, they're going to be more qualified, as Pat McAfee say, with the old whites, the old grandpas, some of the old OGs. But why not hire a coach of color and a former player for a guy that actually deserves it? Whether it be black, Asian, white, Mexican, it don't matter. Whoever's the most qualified, but sometimes just being genuine and real will get you a job, and I think that's why they're going to get the job with Antonio. Pass incomplete. Shit, I should be a head coach. I'm telling you, if I was a head coach or a play caller, people would definitely run through a wall for me. I would definitely build the best relationships on any football team that I was a part of. It's just being able to have the connection with each person and realizing each person is different and being able to vibe with that person in not a fake way. Oh, I like your Jordans when you don't give a shit. Not like that. You have to get deeper. And when you get to certain coaches that have the personal relationship with the players, you can tell. And obviously, not only on the sidelines you can tell, but on the field you can tell as well. Shotgun set. Stafford, here's the blitz. Ow! What happened to my hands? I think I would be a good coach. But I think, what I would be better at? I think I would be better as a play caller, for like the Ducks or Tampa or like, being an advisor, like in the booth or on the field, like in front of the computer, going through all the analytics and metrics and then the film that I watch and then being able to like give my 2 cents. Listen to me. Don't fucking listen to me. You know what I mean? I got ESP moments, at least 2 a stream. That's saying something. That's more than Tony Romo. So field goal is up and it's good. 7-3 Lions. Let's go, baby. Good start. The game's not over. It's not the Cowboy game against the Packers where the game was over and a lot of people shut it off in the first quarter, the second quarter, early third quarter. Let's go, baby. You know what I noticed in that game too, right? The Cowboys typically play man. What the hell were they doing with Dan Quinn playing zone? Like, okay, it doesn't matter if Christian Watson is playing or not, or Romeo Doubs is playing or not. It shows you with the Packers, they get athletic wide receivers and tight ends. They've always been known for that, all the way back with the Don Majkowski days, the Brett Favre days. You want to go way, way back with the Bart Starr days. You look at the wide receivers and tight ends. The Packers have never had a point where they said, well, I wish we had somebody better than Mark Chmura. Oh, I wish we had somebody better than Sterling Sharp. I wish we had somebody better than Devontae Adams. Said no one ever, right? So they've always been known for that. So if you know that, why are you playing zone? You're going to be better off playing man. And then what happened? Jordan Love picking them apart. And then it's like you got to make a decision. Are you playing, man? Are you playing zone? Are half of the guys playing man and the other half are playing zone? But definitely rip them apart. And that's where coaching ends up beating the player talent on the field. If you have a better head coach and you have better coordinators on the sideline, you can be a less talented team and beat the shit out of a top-tier, multifaceted, talented team that has Super Bowl aspirations. But if their head coach or play caller, McCarthy and others, Dan Quinn, aren't good, and I think Dan Quinn is a good defensive coordinator, but even for him, that was the most points that the Dallas Cowboys have ever given up in a playoff game. So for that side of the ball, we can say, oh, Dak, oh, McCarthy, they stink. They need to get rid of Dak. They need to get rid of McCarthy. Oh, Dan Quinn, he's good. Is he? Didn't look very good today. And I think he still is one of the top 3 defensive coordinators in the league. But what you're judged on is not the 12-5, 12-5, 12-5 regular season 3 years in a row. You're judged on what you do in the playoffs. Playoffs is your legacy, right? And this Dan Quinn head coach is not something that I would want. I'll tell you, if Tampa Bay fired their coach, I wouldn't be hiring no Dan Quinn. If I needed a defensive coordinator, hell yeah, but not head coach. It's very clear. Let's go, baby. And hopefully we'll get some people to come through and show some love with the donos. It's been very light within the last couple days. I know my cell phone is going to be already, I don't know how many days do you not pay your cell phone before they turn it off? So hopefully we can end up getting some Cash App and some donos before that happens. But I'm thinking I probably got a few more days and stuff, but usually they're pretty good about it. I haven't had my phone ever turned off, so I don't know how long you can go. Can you go 2 weeks after your due date and they don't turn it? I guess it depends on the provider, on how stingy they want to be and whatnot. But hopefully between today and tomorrow, we can get some, likes, subs, some shares, some views, and maybe a little bit of support and love so O-Dog's cell phone doesn't get turned off. That would be good. 7-3 Lions. Goff, play action fake on first down. That was a good play action. Gibbs. And you can definitely tell that Gibbs is like the perfect player for that team. That's not good for fantasy terms necessarily with Montgomery and Gibbs splitting carries, but they do give you the best thunder lightning in the NFL since work done and Mike Allstott. Believe that. For real though. Anytime you check out or you tell people that you're leaving or you're thinking about going somewhere else, the players, they feel that energy, whether they don't know if it's true or not. And sometimes the players shit the bed because they're not, emotionally invested. You can be a great physical athlete, flag on the play, but you have to be emotionally invested, just like in a relationship, right? Things aren't always just physical. Sometimes things can get a little emotional, spiritual. You have to be connected, right? And the more spiritual, emotional connection, then the physical part takes care of itself, right? And you got to make sure that you get on that emotional level. And I feel with a lot of these coaches and a lot of the rumors, whether they want to say it affected them or not, but I just haven't seen such a dominant team like the Dallas Cowboys year in and year out. But it's like a curse. Regardless of who the coach is, it's just like the Chargers are cursed, and it's cursed for two different reasons. The Cowboys actually have a team worth watching in the regular season. They're fun. They're good. They're one of the top 5 or 10 every year. But in the playoffs, they shit the bed. The Chargers have a lot of talent on paper, but they always get hurt, and they have shitty coaching every single year. Will it ever end? I'm not sure. First down, Lions. Move the chains. You're a Patriot fan. I'm a Buccaneer fan. I am not a fan of the Jared Mayo hire either, but it was written into his contract as a coordinator that once Bill was going to move on, that he was the next in line. So that was already in the contract years ago, except it wasn't informed or told to anyone until recently. So they have to give him, based off that contract and everything that was written out, at least a year. And if it's not the guy, then they'll move on. But again, following into the footsteps of a legend, Bill Belichick, Nick Saban, Pete Carroll, not going to be easy. Holding on the offense. The good thing about your team, Whitey, with the Packers, right, is that literally they can put in anybody at wide receiver. It could be fucking Mike Smith. You're like, who the fuck is Mike Smith? No one knows who he is. Some like generic guy in Madden that you created, right? He could be like a 50 rating, dog shit. But Jordan Love gets him the ball, boom, he actually turns into like a guy, right? Maybe Mike Smith scores a touchdown in his second game. That's kind of the Packers, and I feel that if you don't game plan and coach that way, there we go. Go, baby, go. First down, Lions. Move the chains. Let's go, baby. Jared Goff and the Goffense, baby. But I kind of feel that, you get these guys, it's like you have to understand schematics, analytics, scheme. Coaching, not everyone can do it. And like I said, intelligence, there's a different level. Like I said, you can say, oh, all these coaches are the same. No, they're not. You could be a head coach and be not that smart. Like I said, it depends on what you are. Are you a people person? Are you a communicator? Are you a natural born leader? Are you genuine? Are you real? Or are you just reading off a clipboard or telling everyone in the locker room what the GM told you to say? Touchdown, Lions, Jahmyr Gibbs. Let's go, baby. Extra point is up, and it's good. 14-3 Lions. I know Eminem is happy about that, and the Lions fans are happy. But remember, if the game was on the road and the Rams had home field, what do you think the score would be right now? Probably the opposite, 14-3 Rams. Lions are not good on the road. I mean, if you can't even beat the Chicago Bears with Justin Fields with that team, right, on the road, late in the season, chances are you're probably not going to be able to win a game on the road in the playoffs. And, if there's a disparity between home and away, maybe the biggest difference in the NFL is the Lions, overall, as far as the rest of the playoff teams are concerned. And I'm a pro-Lion guy. Has to reflect. I even offered him Laporta in week 1. He didn't need it. He's like, I can still win the championship without him. But lo and behold, I needed him more than you because you already had, Travis Kelce. I had Mark Andrews. You got to use Kelce the whole year, even though he wasn't very productive as years past, right? Right? Taylor Swift, right? And then Mark Andrews goes down with the injury and Laporta, kept me afloat. But again, tight end position in fantasy, very, very difficult. Very, very difficult. Well, everyone's going to be upset with the Cowboys. You know what I mean? But again, you can have this like blind faith that guys are going to eventually turn it around. But you got to ask yourself this, right? If you're another fan base and you're another team, regardless if the Cowboys go 12-5, 8 years in a row, right? Would you want Mike McCarthy to be your head coach? And the answer by almost every fan and every fan base on planet Earth is a resounding no. So if that is the case, why do you still have him there? Because no one else wants him. No one else is going to hire him. And if you hire him, why? You would be better off hiring a 25-year-old up-and-coming OC out of fucking college or climbing the ranks in the NFL than hiring someone like that. Prove me wrong. You know what I mean? And if you fuck up with a young guy, you can live with it because, he's going to get better, or at least you hope, there's going to be progression. But, for a guy like McCarthy, you already know what he is, right? His best days are behind him. He ain't never going to win a Super Bowl ever again. I mean, I don't know what the Dallas Cowboys need. Bill Belichick necessarily, isn't just the answer, but what would be interesting, is if they could find, that Jimmy Johnson type of personality coach, the Bill Cowher, Jimmy Johnson type, right? And they got him. And somehow they were able to lure Dion away from college coaching and to be working with the defense and the secondary. That wouldn't happen because obviously he's trying to get himself to be a head NFL coach or climb the ladder on the college level as high as he can go. At some point, if Dion ends up being the coach of Georgia or Bama, don't be surprised. I wouldn't be, But to get a guy like Dion and to get guys, like Troy and Emmett and Michael Irvin, a lot of these guys have other families and other jobs and they're announcing. They're on NFL Network. They're calling games with Joe Buck. But if you could get a lot of the legends back together with the right coach and the right OC, then I think you could turn it around because then it would be accountability. I can't let Troy down. I can't let Emmett down. You think fucking Tony Pollard is going to play like shit if Emmett is looking over his ass? Hell no. And if he doesn't play good, get out of here. They'll get someone better. You think Dion's going to let those corners fucking slide when they get burnt? Hell no. There would be a different type of accountability. And I think that's what the Dallas Cowboys need, That's me. That's how you solve that problem. Now, would that all happen? No, that's a fantasy. It wouldn't happen. But if you were to be able to get some of the former players and get a Jimmy Johnson type, you could turn that ship around. Yeah, Jerry can't have so much control. Like someone needs to be the GM and the head coach, and he needs to let them have full control, or someone to be head coach to have full control. It's 12 noon. You know what time it is? Time for a Stafford. Broke my ankle. Aiden Hutchinson, sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. Wasn't really a real sack lunch. He tripped over himself. But Aiden Hutchinson says, I'll take it. He'll take that sack lunch. And I don't want to say this because, I'm honest, with how defensive players play and how defensive players step up or not. And I normally don't say this over a guy that I really love, but Micah is overrated. And I never thought I would ever say that, and you could say the same thing with the jersey that I got on tonight. Devin White, overrated. Really good early on, but they disappear in too many games for us to be able to call them best in the world. Yeah, you might have been best in the world a couple years ago, but just because you were best in the world a couple years ago, earlier in the season, what you do late, that's what you're going to be defined as. And I feel that, Devin White, since the Super Bowl year, lost motivation, wanted to go to Philly, doesn't want to be there. Then we ended up going 3-1. His tune changed. Then he got lazy in the season. I still rock the jersey. I still love the guy, repping the LSU. I see you, Devin White. But sometimes we have to be honest as fans. Even if you buy the $150 to $180 jersey, I got both Devin Whites. All right, red and white. It's almost $400, right? What a catch. First down, Rams. But sometimes you have to be honest, and sometimes players can't be honest. Fans can't be honest. But I think, Micah and Devin White need to go into the offseason, and they need to put in a lot of work. Because, you're really just going to get around based off name recognition. But the true ones know if you watch the games when guys disappear. And, Devin White and Micah sometimes disappear. If you're supposed to be like the Aaron Donald, the Reggie White, the Bruce Smith, you're supposed to be the Warren Sapp, the Derek Brooks, the Brian Urlacher, the Ed Reed, the Troy Polamalu. You're supposed to be the guy, the Lawrence Taylor, the Ronnie Lott. You need to fucking play like it and play like it all the time. I can't have you beast out and then all of a sudden disappear in the last month. And then I'm still supposed to say you're the best at your position. You're the best in the world. Just saying, I'll say the things that people are afraid to say, but if you watch the game, you realize it. And sometimes Micah plays like a maniac and you can say, yeah, I mean, look at his stats. Yeah. But it's also about consistency, and being able to put it together game in and game out. That's the difference. And then what you do in the postseason, that is another level. It's like, oh, the guy had 15 tackles and 3 sacks. But then if you go for 5 tackles and no sacks for 6 games before you have your next blow-up game, I would rather have the guy that's more consistent, that has the blow-ups, maybe not as often, but that has the consistency. So just like in fantasy football, consistency is key. How do you think me and Reflect are going to dominate in fantasy every year? Consistency is key. And also getting all the running backs on our roster so you guys don't have any. Consistency, smarts. Well, not on the same page. So this is also a combination of McCarthy and the bad play calling. First, they wanted to say, oh, it's Kellen Moore's fault. He's terrible. Kellen Moore, did you see that play? They did the draw with Dak, and then they fucking had no time left, and he's supposed to run for 50 yards against the Niners, right? Oh, Kellen Moore's dumb. That ain't that Boise State kid that I remembered. He's never going to get a job as a head coach. Then he leaves, right? Ends up going to the Chargers. Chargers are a dumpster fire as it is anyways, because injuries are going to make his career end sooner than it needs to, because he'll never have Herbert, Keenan Allen, with Mike Eckler. I mean, you're never going to have all those guys together at the same time. You're never going to be able to, get the fruits of your labor with your play calling. And then you're like, it's McCarthy. Oh, he's doing good. McCarthy's a good play caller. Oh, Cowboys, beat them boys. NFC Championship game. Maybe this is the year they go to the Super Bowl. You heard some dumbasses say that, right? Yeah, and even though it looks like it in the last couple of years, it really looks like it. You don't go 12-5 for no reason. Regular season, that's insane. 12-5, 12-5, 12. I mean, that's like, I remember when the Bucks went in 2002. Fuck, we were 12-4. So you're telling me, with my team, but again, there's a difference. They have a defense, but their defense is overrated. Tampa had a defense. We had a fucking Hall of Famers. There's a difference. And that's really what it comes down to when you're in the playoffs and in the big games. How many Hall of Famers do you have, right? This is a true thing. How many Hall of Famers do you have, and how many are going to step up and play big? And the more that you have, the better that you're going to be able to do. And you have to look at the offensive line in all the positions. You might end up having an offensive lineman that could be Hall of Fame or a Hall of Fame worthy. Maybe it's early, but you can see it. Like how I can see Antoine Winfield Jr. being in the Hall of Fame. Is it early in his career? Is it premature? Probably, but the way that he's playing, if he can stay healthy for another 10 to 15 years, he will be in the Hall of Fame. Stafford. And these are the little things that you have to watch games and you could see foreshadowing before it happens. That's how the ESP happens here earlier, right, than every other channel. And that's why they have to come here and steal my shit and steal my material, because I can see it before they do. ESP, time travel, whatever you want to call it. 14-3 Lions. Oh, I actually think that we can. I'm not saying it in a braggy way. We're terrible. Us and the fucking Steelers are dog shit. We can't beat anybody. But if there is a team that we could compete with, is an Eagle team that is imploding, even though they have a way better roster. But it shows you if the coaching isn't there, right, and they start to lose the locker room. Stafford! Puka! Telling you, it's not only that, it's Sean McVay. You have to realize that, he doesn't get enough credit. Sean McVay is a genius with the play calling like Kyle Shanahan. And yes, they have some talented players, but they also make players better when they're there. Look at that route right there by Puka. They'll stop and go. And it shows you the Lions have a terrible defense. Lions have a terrible defense, right? So if you got guys like Kyron Williams and Puka and Tutu Atwell, you got guys that are athletic. They don't even play Darrell Henderson. He could be like that big back on the goal line. They don't even need him. Extra point is up, and it's good. So, it shows you can be like this matchup right here that we're watching. This right here is exactly like Washington and Texas in the semis, right? Where we got the Bama and the Michigan, and it was kind of like, running in mud and good defense, not a lot of points scored. And then this one is the opposite, where you're getting points scored in amazing ways, and they're exploiting each other's shitty defense with amazing offense. But again, if you end up having a great defensive team go against one of these teams, what do you think happens? Like if the Niners play, the Lions, we already know what happens in that story. They crush the shit out of them. But if they play the Rams aren't as good as the Lions or the Niners, but the Rams can compete because they have the edge, which is Sean McVay. That was a nice throw. Stafford looking like young Stafford, bringing that magic. And then being able to, get guys. And remember, if you think, oh, Sean McVay's not that good, really? Name any other coach that developed 2 brand new players this year and turned them into top 10 players in fantasy overnight. You tell me any other coach that made guys that were nothing into something. I'm waiting. And not only did you get it with Puka early and it was consistent, broke all the records, most yards, all this, all in the rookie, yards, catch, touchdown, all that, right? But then you also got the Kyron Williams out of it too. But if you watch Kyron Williams in college, you wouldn't be surprised because he was doing that shit in college. That's why you have to watch college film. The more college you watch, the more high school you watch, the more educated that you are. And then the Good Morning Football watches this channel, steals the material. Peter Schrager says, thank God I don't have to watch 5 hours of tape. I'll just copy this motherfucker, steal his shit, and make it my own. Right? That's how it goes. 14-10 Lions. But at least we're going to get like big explosion plays, on both sides, which will be awesome. All right, we're almost an hour in. Help your boy out. Likes, subs, views, shares, donos, if you can. Much appreciated. Cell phone doesn't want to be turned off in the next couple days. Help your boy out. What a touchdown by the Rams. Well, I mean, it's not like we're at 20 subs, so we'll get there. I like both of these teams too. And again, I would have loved to be able to see the Seattle Seahawks make the playoffs. But if you're just looking at the Rams and those storyline wise, I mean, it's like they could say, oh, the NFL scripted it, but sometimes, history tends to like repeat itself. And these things kind of intertwine naturally. It's like if the teams are in contention, sometimes that's just how it lines up. And then it just ends up making for better TV because of the storyline of the former player, being on the former team. Very cool. Let's get those likes up. Hand off. David Montgomery. First down, Lions. Move the chains. And that was a big reason why the Bears fell off. It shows you when you have studs on the team and you're an organization and you don't realize how good like a Khalil Mack is. You don't realize how good a David Montgomery is. You don't let pieces like that go. You don't realize how good Roquan Smith is, because if they end up going from your dog shit shitty team and they go to a contender, they're going to end up being known as one of the best players in the NFL. And if you can already be known as one of the best players in the NFL on the Bears, where do you think you're going to go if you go to another team like the Ravens, the Lions? It's like, hello. But, either you recognize the talent or you don't. It's like, sorry, man, Khalil Herbert, he ain't good enough to be an RB1. I mean, the Bears got Caleb Williams says, I don't even want to be a part of the Bears. Hell, I don't blame you. I wouldn't want to be a part of the Chicago Bears either. I see what they're trying to do, but that organization is too much of a mess. And it's like you would have to literally fire everybody and start over. And, that's not going to happen. So, and all the other qualified pieces are going to be on other teams. First down, Lions. Move the chains. 5 more likes at 20. Jair. Yeah. Well, he gets injured a lot. You know what I mean? So I think that people recognize that he's a top 5 corner. You know, if you want to be a hater and you don't watch football, top 10, but typically a top 5 to top 8 corner. And then when healthy, you know, arguably one of the best in the entire league, top 2, top 3, but not healthy all the time. So it's like, you know, you got to be on the field. But, you know, when he's out there and he's healthy and he's on his game, he's just as good as anyone in the NFL because he's a guy that can get an interception. He's a guy that can get more than one in a game. And he's a guy that can actually get you a pick 6, which not every corner that's elite can do. Kobe Turner, I like him. He's having a great year. 2nd down and 10. Man in motion. Shotgun set. Goff, the offense. Little flick of the wrist. Ooh, big hit. All right, Finley, you're the man. No, I mean, I got to be able to build my legacy. You know, I feel that, you know, if anyone ends up taking the time to do the research on me, you know, based on the streams and all the work that we put in, I think a lot of it kind of speaks for itself. It's just a matter of if, you know, people want to be able to put that time in. Nice catch. First down, Lions. Move the chains. But I mean, I'm trying to be able to build my own legacy. So it's like I don't got time at this time, you know, to build someone else's legacy. But to be like associated with a program would be cool, to be able to give them help, you know, like in the film room and statistics, analytics. Oh, I would be fucking, I'd be one of your top candidates for fucking any organization, high school, all the way to the NFL. You kidding me? And when I say high school, not like regular high school, but we're talking like Texas, where they have like an NFL field high school ball, where it's like everything is bigger in Texas. When you got a bunch of fucking LaMichael James running around as freshmen, you know? Hi, Paisley. I love you. She's in here with Daddy. $14-10 Lions. Jahmyr Gibbs. He's shifty. He's powerful, right? And he's a lot stronger than what he looks. Like him and Pacheco sometimes look like, oh, they're little. They're just going to fall over. But it's like they're the complete opposite. They're going to rip your throat out. You know, that's the type of running backs that they are. They're going to run at you. They're going to move their legs as fast as they can. It's just going to go, bap, 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 bap. And then, you know, they're going to come at you. And when I see guys that are, and you could say the same thing about Jerick McKinnon too, but when you see like those guys that they kind of look small, they look like an RB2 or an RB3, not a 3-down back. Each guy that is built smaller frame-wise doesn't mean that they're all going to be like, you know, twigs. Some of them are going to be dogs, and some of them are going to be bigger dogs than the guys that are even bigger than them. I mean, you can see the athleticism Gibbs that has. Montgomery has athleticism in a different way, kind of bowl you over, kind of MJD, like bowling ball. I'm going to run you over type of guy. Le'Veon Bell, you know, a Todd Gurley style, you know, but then Gibbs is kind of gives you that like crackhead shiftiness. You know, it's like you don't know where he's going to go. He might go left. He might go right. He might go in the 7-Eleven. He might take something. He might not, right? That's how Gibbs runs. I like it. And you don't really see a lot of guys running like Gibbs in the NFL. That's what makes it exciting. It's a good reference. Running like a crackhead. It's like one of the most, I think, to me, if I'm watching all the running backs, he's the most entertaining in the NFL. You know, is he the best in the NFL? No. But when he gets the ball in his hands and his legs start moving, like, to me, he's the most entertaining in the NFL right now. See, it's like different perspective. You know, there's other running backs that are out there, you know, but who do you get excited when they actually get the rock? And like, who surprises you? Who gets more than you ever expected? I would probably go, you know, him as the one because of his like excitable plays. And, you know, Pacheco obviously is up there too because I feel he's like the sleeper. Like Rice is the best receiver. Kelsey's probably third option now. But, you know, whether you watch Chief games or not, Pacheco is a lot better than people realize. Gibbs is going to get a lot more pub because of the flair that he has, the swagger that he has. Pacheco just kind of puts his head down and he'll shit talk a little bit, and dance a little bit. But with like Gibbs, it's just he's all over the place in a good way. Montgomery getting the ball down to about the 2 or the 3. Yeah, let's do that. We're over an hour in. NFL playoffs. Skipper is reporting. Could this be a trick play or a fake trick play? Oh, if the Lions and the Packers played? Yeah, they definitely have the most money invested in the Ravens-Niners based off Lamar winning the MVP and McCaffrey winning the Offensive Player of the Year already, because it happened already in my head. Touchdown! Sam Laporta. Did he bobble it, though? He caught it, and it looked like he bobbled it. Did he have his feet down? I assume that's a touchdown. They probably want to kick the extra point quickly. But it looked like he might have slightly bobbled it after he caught it. But again, I don't know. Maybe that was my eyes tricking me. Extra point is up, and it's good. Sam Laporta, top 5 tight end, number 1 ranked tight end this season. Sam Laporta, Iowa, tight end university. Sarah knows. She said, that's my college team. We kind of suck sometimes on offense. We could be a top 25 team, but we do develop good tight ends. The worst one they've had in the last 15 years is Noah Fant. That's the worst one. That's pretty good. If that's your worst one, Noah Fant, then you got Hawkinson and Dallas Clark, George Kittle, Sam Laporta. Need I go further? George Kittle, Sam Laporta. That's pretty impressive. Nice job. 21-10 Lions. Both offenses lit. Both defenses dog shit. It's just going to be back and forth, back and forth. This is 2024. When you buy or sell your car, yeah, but there's still going to be a lot of people that would say yes. But I'm just saying I do it based off if I am a Seahawk fan myself, because that's where I put all my, takes, and all my analysis and my research. I do it based on all 32 teams as I'm their, the number one guy. I'm the one looking at the decision making and that's my team, whether it's Seahawks or then the next day, maybe Niners, but you got to be able to put yourself there. But, it has to be something where, you're either going to go with, one of the guys that gets fired. You're going to go for one of the up-and-coming coaches or coordinators in the NFL or college. And then you got to be able to go with what direction that you want to go. Pete Carroll wanted to have Geno and wanted to develop offensive line and defense and weapons around him for them to get to the NFC Championship in a couple years. That was the vision. He didn't want to draft a quarterback this year, But then with the GM, with Schneider, and the higher-ups with Allen, they and their group want a quarterback now. We're not waiting till next year where there's others that are good then. No, we're doing it now. And that was the disconnect. So if you're going to go that route, then you got to make sure that if you're drafting the quarterback, are you getting a quarterback coach? Are you getting, a good play caller? Because not only are you bringing one in, it sounds like you might be trying to bring 2 new in. Geno will still be the starter until he fucks up, and then they bench him after going 1-3 or 2-2 and saying, oh, we gave him the benefit of the doubt, but secretly they wanted him to fuck up to pull him. Then they bring in the new guy, and they don't just start the rookie right at week 1, because then it makes, the Seahawks look like the bad guy and Geno and, turmoil in the locker room, split locker room, this and that. So it'll be very interesting. And who knows what happens if they get a quarterback and Geno still plays better, which that could be the case too. But I'm very interested to see what direction that Seattle goes. Alabama got DeBoa. I don't think that's going to last. I think he's a great coach for Washington. Now Washington's program is suffering for all the commits and then the non-commits in the portal. NIL. It's not only do you lose the coach, you end up losing everything associated with that coach. So you just went from, being in the Natty to probably not going to be in a Natty for 10 years. And it may not, I don't want to say it's never going to happen again,
and this is me, not me being a hater, but just me being honest and real. And Reflect is a Husky fan. I'm a Duck fan, but I feel that with us, we can like root for each other and keep a non-biased head. We still love our players and our team the most, but when it comes out to being real about like information, takes, like our gut feeling about how the direction of the team is going, the Huskies are not in a good position now. And I don't like that. A lot of Ducks fans are like loving it. Nice catch by Puka. God, he's a beast. Look at that height, that weight, the athleticism, the agility, the way he moves. Like Puka, he don't look like a little 6-foot wide receiver. When you look at Puka out there, he looks like the most athletic 6'5" receiver you've seen. Doesn't he? Like, he's tall, but then like his yak yards are fucking nuts. Special. They better make sure they get themselves a really good quarterback post Stafford. They don't want to have that go to waste. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I said, and like I said, we could always be like, I don't know, that's not going to work. And then it's like, it works, or it might fail, but, and it's all, you're doing it based off the probability of like their record, their connection, how good they were before they took this job. Also new chemistry with a new player and new teams, competitive division. It's not going to be easy for Bama, playing fucking Georgia week 1 with DeBoa. It's like, yeah, you're still going to have some of Saban's leftovers, but some of Saban's newbies are gone. They're not coming back. They're not staying there for DeBoa. They're like, fuck that. That's too much of an unproven. Yeah, Alabama will be top 25. Yeah, Alabama will be top 10, but maybe they're like closer to 10 than closer to 1. And that's the problem. If they can go transfer to Ohio State, Michigan, Oregon, Texas, where it's top 5, yeah, they're probably going to go there. Nice tackle by the Lions. Yeah. I like it because I think he's seasoned. If you watched him at Washington State, I was actually hoping that the Ducks got him. I like him. Like, he's athletic. He's kind of like a Cam Newton, Anthony Richardson 2.0. Like when you watch his body, he's kind of thicker, but he can make the reads. He looked good at Washington State. Guys can go from school to school, and we'll see, how he develops. But definitely a guy to keep an eye on. And some guys, need another year to kind of season their skills. Just like, for example, Bo Nix. Bo Nix could have possibly went the year before, but came back for the chance to win the Natty, but also to season himself. And if Bo Nix would have went last year, he would have been dog shit. But if he, since he took that extra year, yeah, he still may be dog shit in the NFL. There is a chance Bo Nix fails. I'm a Duck fan, but I'm not stupid, right? And, there's a lot of factors involved. The team, the players, the supporting cast, him handling the NFL pressure, fit, coach, mentor, receivers, running backs, O-line. Does he have any? But I think with Bo Nix, he has a better chance to succeed now, for playing, going long, going deep. Oh, incomplete if he would have went the year before. So with, Cam Ward, I like it. I do like him, sometimes getting that extra year or a couple years. It's like Arch Manning, once he's eligible, yeah, you can go. But if I was Arch Manning, I would probably play as long as I could in college. So that way I make sure that Manning name isn't a bust. Like, make sure you keep building that hype, that Eli hype, that Peyton hype, that every weekend, all we want to do is watch Arch Manning on Saturday. And once it gets like that, that'll be a good example too. And if he's going to be behind Quinn Ewers or if he'll transfer. Man in motion, shotgun set, 4th down and 5. Rams, they're crazy. But they say, guess what? We got Puka, we got Tutu, we got Kyron, we got Cooper Kupp. It's like crazy. We talk about Kyron and Puka. It's like, oh, yeah, I forgot. We also have a, top 5, top 10 wide receiver. It's cool to be able to see players that are like Caucasian, like playing positions that supposedly they can't play. Running back, run CMC. Cooper Kupp, wide receiver. And then we're going to get one on Iowa, on Sarah's team, right? Cooper's coming in from Iowa. He's going to be the first white Caucasian corner in the NFL. Sense? You may remember him. New York Giants. Stafford. Jason Sehorn. Oh, baby. What a catch. Touchdown, Rams. Ramily, stand up. Guess what? Both of these defense suck ass, but they are really fun to watch. Extra point is up, and it's good. 21-17. It's your boy. Wow. To me, like when I look at coaches and, Kyle Shanahan has, obviously Brock Purdy there as a game manager, but CMC, ridiculous, Debo, make him puke Ayuk, George Kittle, Juwan Jeff. They got so many options, and then a great O-line, great D-line, great defense. So for him to be great, yeah, it's like they're on the cusp of winning a Super Bowl. Like that's what they're going to try to do. Barely got through, looked like he missed it. So like for me, I'm 100% confident the Niners are going to win a Super Bowl in the next 5 to 6 years. They may win multiple, maybe not back-to-back, and they may even win this year, okay? But with the Rams, it's like the roster is so young, and I just love being able to see coaches get the most out of their guys when no one believes, including me, and then you, like, turn these players into something. And then now it's like the Rams are kind of like, not necessarily must-see TV, but if we know that like Puka's going to be out there, it's like the same kind of hype that we had for Cooper Kupp when he was on his, season breaking all the rule, record season type of feeling, that vibe. And I like that. Give you an extra incentive. Like, oh, I know the Lions got Amon-Ra, so I already know that's going to be fun. They got Laporta, they got Gibbs, they got Montgomery. The only one out of the starting crew that plays like ass is Goff. Everyone else is badass, right? It's just like Goff. Sometimes if the O-line sucks ass, then, he gets exposed. But so far, so good today. 21-17, Lions. She said, let's please. No air sandwich. Yeah, I was about to say that too. When the game, ended up getting closer and closer, like the celebration started way too early. It should have had a little bit more discipline, but we're so excited that you ended up beating, the team that you supposedly couldn't, and definitely took your foot off the gas. And like, that's a part of LaFleur's maturity and the rest of the squad moving forward, that if they ever want to get to a Super Bowl or an NFC championship game, those little adjustments on not taking your foot off the gas and, going for the jugular and making sure you're not running up the score like the Saints did with Jameis on the Falcons when the game was over and being kind of like Bush League, like doing it in a way where you're just consistently cruising, and you're doing what you need to do to win the game and you're not letting them come back. You're doing everything in your power to like win by the bigger amount to show like how dominant you are. Like imagine if the final score in the game was what the score was like in the early third quarter. Like how much more of a bigger win for Green Bay would have been. Like imagine if the final score was like similar to the Texans, like what if it was like 48-14, 48-18, like that's crazy. I don't know. It's all about perspective. What are we? Are we closer to the 20 range or the 30 range? And down the road, we'll end up getting more people, and more subs and more goats, and we'll find the right people, and then things will get better. You can't rush things. You can't rush greatness. Greatness takes time to achieve. Greatness doesn't happen overnight. Like even where the sub count is right now, I feel I'm only like literally, and I'm not even bullshitting right now. I've been doing this fucking for 12 years. 8 years on YouTube, sacrificed the Jordan rookie that's worth 20 to 30,000. It's going to be worth over 100 when he passes away. Like I sacrificed a lot, but I'm like 12 years in, 8 years on YouTube, and I only feel that I'm like 1 to 10% into the journey. Like, honestly, like, I got so much, I feel like I have like, so much untapped, love and potential. If I could just get in the right eyes of the right people, like, things could explode. It's just a matter of time of when that happens. And then eventually days that, that are tough, we'll laugh about those days, but, we don't want to have a lot of terrible days or a lot of days that are, challenging or not up to par, but positive attitude. 3 away, smash that like button. Plus, there's going to be other people that have other channels that worked really hard to get where they are, but we're never going to be a fad here. It's more of like a exclusive club. A lot of people are going to get booted, but it's all about the knowledge, the analytics, the statistics, the non-bias, and try to bring the connection together. Mental health, not like every other channel, and that's fine. So if it takes us a little bit longer to be able to find the right people, it's like, I don't need to have just to have people to have a big number. Because you can have a big number and have a bunch of toxic people, and then everything is ruined. So I don't want that. 21-17 Lions. Raiders head coaching search is finally getting underway. They plan to interview former Vikings coach Leslie Frazier. And they're doing all this, for the rule, trying to go through, white, black, Mexican, Asian, people of color, everyone getting a fair shot, right? And you can interview anyone that you want to interview, right? But Antonio Pierce, is the guy. Like, you can feel it in your bones, when you feel like, what? The guy actually has a good chemistry with the players and did a good job. Yet the roster's not that great, so you're going to lose some games. But also, you can tell when a team is fighting for you and they actually like you. And that's what you got. So once you got that, unless you're just a complete idiot, so we'll see what happens with the Raiders and that family. But if they actually have anybody on the roster that knows anything about genuine, real people, that have a good connection with others, then you hire the guy, 100%. And if I didn't think that he was qualified, you already know, I'd be like, nah, he ain't the guy. But I think that in this one case, you have a lot of these guys that are interim, and there's no way in hell that they're going to be the head coach, or it's going to be only temporary until they get the real one. But with him, yeah, I give him a 2-3 year deal. And then if he doesn't do what you want within that year or two, fire him. Yeah, but at least give him the honor to show you that at least the players that are on the roster now have his back. And if you have them, you're going to get better effort. And if you get better effort, you're going to get more W's. And that's a Hall of Fame player, the best since Howie Long. So if you can't listen to your best player on the team and you just want to let him go, don't be like the Chicago Bears. Don't let, good players go. You got to make sure you pay those guys, because your team will never be the same once they leave. Can you imagine Max Crosby on the Niners? Max Crosby on the Ravens? Max Crosby with the Steelers with TJ Watt? Like, what that would be like. It would be pure insanity. Shit, Max Crosby on any team. Yeah, come to the Bucks. Oh yeah, you'd be good. Yeah, we'd be a good duo. Stats, analytics, all of that. Sometimes it takes the masses to recognize the greatness. Sometimes, people aren't going to know, or they're going to watch other people because they're more popular, But eventually, people will start to realize when the big boys on the big networks and a lot of the famous people are watching, it's not about how many subs or how many people are in the room. It's how smart you are. How much film you watch, Are you real? Are you genuine? Do you do the work, right? Everyone else might be, getting flags, but your boy is putting in the work. And a lot of that has from the people that I have in the room, It's an honor to be able to have people that try not to be as biased as they were when they were younger, understand greatness is everywhere, and they can appreciate sports for greatness even if it's on a rival team. And if you can dip into that just a little bit with me, the connection is going to be so strong, and you're going to see sports in a whole nother light, instead of just being like, I love my team and my player, fuck everybody else. That negative attitude transfers over into your everyday life. But if you can appreciate the greatness, even if against the rival team, hell, that guy might be on your team 5 years from now. There's no reason to be a hater. Too much energy to be a hater. Everyone else is a hater. Don't be like them. Oh, nice stiff arm. Max Crosby on the Colts. She needed fire emoji to make sure that we understood that that would be good. Yeah. We got a good group. Like, again, if we did Sports Jeopardy, we whoop everyone's ass. I mean, it wouldn't even be fucking close. And that's not just me. Like, me against the other hosts and other people that do sports or NFL YouTube channels. You know, but it's like, there are going to be some fan bases that got some suspect people in there. The bandwagons and fair weathers. The dumbs. Nice tackle. Yeah. Well, you're not the only one, you know, because you guys have a reputation of, you know, having greatness, whether it be Bart Starr or whether it be Brett Favre or Aaron Rodgers. So when you see shitty play at the quarterback, you guys have been spoiled and you never have understood. Even Don Majkowski was good. Like, you know, he might have not been like, oh my God, good, but I mean, he was decent. You know, you guys have never had a shit quarterback, or at least for a long period of time. Maybe guys that have filled in for your big studs, but primarily you guys have had the best quarterback run out of arguably, you know, any team. 3 quarterbacks, 3 Hall of Famers, long period of time. So if Jordan Love plays like shit, yeah, of course people are going to be like, fuck him. Let's try to find the next Aaron. That's fine. You know, we can't waste our time on this guy if he's not going to be it, right? You want instant results now. So you're not the only one that was like, get rid of this guy, or like, he ain't it, you know. But sometimes you got to give a guy like 3 years, and that shows you that people have no patience in this world, including us, you know. And we can be like the most good, you know, genuine, real people. We can be passionate. We can care about other people. But sometimes we can get delusional with our timeline. Just because we've seen it fast somewhere else doesn't mean you're going to get the same fast and the quickness and the results that you want or what you think you deserve. You know, everyone's timeline is different. But the main blueprint, you know, for the Packers is what they should recognize, and I don't know if a lot of the fan base even recognizes it. If you have obviously offensive line is usually sometimes good, sometimes shaky, injury prone every fucking year, right? But you have good athletic weapons at running back and the outside always. So you don't really need, you know, an elite quarterback per se. Yeah, if you have one. But like I said, you can build the team, you know, offensive line and the defense. And, you know, you don't need to have a superstar, but the pressure to fall into the footsteps of the other guys and the franchise is greedy, you know, that they expect the greatness to be there no matter who it is. Like for the rest of anyone's life, if they root for Green Bay, having a shitty quarterback is going to be unacceptable. Like, you know, if they go 10-7 with a shitty quarterback, they're like not happy, you know. Yeah, and also too, it's coaching. You know, it's play calling. Who are your coordinators? Who's your head coach? Who's your O-line? You know, right? And are you a player that makes others better? Right? How's the defense playing? Are they helping you out? How's special teams going? You know, are you working as a team? Are you playing good? Are you hot? But anyways, you know, when you go 18-1, I already knew that the Cowboys were in trouble. I thought the Cowboys might be able to break the curse and possibly win just like everyone else. But it shows you how you're doing going in really matters more than, you know, being good early on and then kind of fizzling late. You got to be hot in November and December. So then you don't have to be the best team, Cowboys. You can be the hotter and the healthier team and the team more in sync. And you could have a shittier roster and not be as good and have people not believe in you, and then go into the game and then maybe have stats on, oh, we're 6-0. We're not that good, but we have been playing kind of good as of late. And the Cowboys are kind of like, you know, they're kind of cursed. So if we just go in there and play our type of ball, they're just going to doubt themselves and we're going to win. And that's what happened.
At a Geico 20 years. This show up. Mr. Big Man, writing that computer, just a new Geico documentary. Remember they wanted your house, things for dogs? They turn it into a fun shot. It's so easy.
Boom.
Perfect.
And that's why when you get more like intellectual people together, you can actually have a conversation about sports, and then you can see each other's point of views. And even if we root for different players or different teams, we see eye to eye. That's the difference between going to another like channel or like another room where you have so many of the others that are mixed in, and then you just get chaos, because everyone thinks they're an expert and everyone knows football. But if you watch the games and you do more, you realize you see the game a little bit deeper, whether that means you played, you watch more film, you're like Matt, you're doing the reading and watching the routes and doing the wide receiver and the tight end, and trying, maybe not to be as biased. There's things that, step by step, brother. 21-17 Lions. And that's also obviously, that's the quarterback's best friend, right? Offensive line that can pass protect, right? That can run block. But then the ideal sleeper one that most people won't say, if you got linemen that can pull, that's the X factor. Because then if you can pull the guard, from the left to the right or vice versa, or the tackle, your playbook opens up more. So then if you have an elite running back, you can go left, right, you can do little bubbles, you can do draws, but there's a lot of misdirection, counters. So you look at little subtle things like that, and then you start seeing the game a little bit different. You got to go deeper, more than black and white. You got to go in the gray area, dig deep like O-Dog, and then you'll see the game in a different light. 21-17 Lions. Why do you think those big boys on the big networks come here? Because they know we ain't stupid here. They actually watch the games. Watch a lot more than most people. Read those articles. Look at the stats. Remember them. Smash that like button. We got a very good collective unit of people too. Just because people underappreciate me and underappreciate us now doesn't mean that it's going to be like that forever. Cream always rises to the top, baby. Oh yeah. Stafford's like, I can't throw a pick six. Halftime. Stafford, a little dump down to Cooper Kupp. Got to see these last few seconds. Let me know what you guys want to do for photos. 21-17. Likes, subs, views, shares. Help on the Twitter live feed. Likes and shares on that. Donos if possible. Any type of support is greatly appreciated. Your boy don't eat an air sandwich. Air sandwiches are not very flavorful. No Flavor Town. I'm Sean McVay. I could be on TV. I got a fucking gorgeous wife. I am a brilliant motherfucker. I can make every play 30 words. Everyone else in the NFL is stupid. They use 5 to 10 words. I use 30 like John Gruden and Kyle Shanahan. People don't realize that brain is smart. I do. Oh, that's tough. That's tough, brother. Well, there's always links, or if you have a Peacock, if you're a wrestling fan for WWE, a lot of people don't recognize that the Peacock and the NBC are linked. So if something is on NBC, you can watch it on Peacock. When it's a Peacock exclusive, like the Chiefs game yesterday, Peacock app, right? So you get all the NBC stuff linked to it. So sometimes, if you want to watch it on a stream on your computer at a streaming site, you can, or you could watch it on the TV, and do it through the Peacock app. Sometimes you forget with how different things are linked up, Or if you have cable or satellite and you have an online account, you can end up syncing up through like TNT, TBS, ESPN.com. And then it'll have a little bit of a delay, but not too much. And then you can end up watching it on your computer while you're watching me on the stream, which sometimes people do. We damn boys. Alan is probably just like, every Cowboy fan. Like I have my friend Brett, who's a big Duck fan. And we went to high school together. He was like the starting center at the high school, like absolute phenomenal athlete, stud, cool, genuine dude, like one of the only people from Canby High School that I actually keep in touch with. And he's a big Cowboy fan, and he sent me like a meme, type thing. And I didn't want to break, the bad news or anything, or how I really felt, but kind of thought, how it turned out, but it much worse. But then the Cowboys actually fought back there at the end. But it shows you it's not about the players. It's about the ownership. It's about Jerry Jones. It's about the control. It's about GM, head coach, OC, DC. Those are the most important things for the Dallas Cowboys, but in retrospect, they're considered the least important, and that's why they lose every year in the playoffs. Because if you had better pieces there, right, men and women, you wouldn't be losing. Even though they didn't lose last year, they beat Tampa. But, I mean, does anyone really give them credit for that? It almost feels like they took the L. Like, oh, you beat a team that you were supposed to? We should congratulate you, but in essence, we just count it as another L for all the L's that you've had when you actually did lose. Am I the only one that feels that way? Like, not to take anything away from them, but it's like, okay, you beat a terrible Tampa Bay team that was the worst team that crawled into playoffs. Like, shit, if you're Dallas, you can't beat that. Like, that was like the least you could do was that. And they at least did that last year, I guess. But goats. We need the goats. All right, let me know what you guys want to do for photos. We can do Rams players, we can do Lions players, and then maybe we'll get a dono train going at some point. I'm going to start going with just Lions and Rams players. I got to look at the stats, too. All right, let's go with the stats here first. Let's take a quick peek. Make sure everything gets refreshed and updated here. We already know how ESPN and some of these other NFL.com go. All right, what do we got? Jared Goff, 16 for 18. Jared Goff, 16 for 18. 194 yards. 1 touchdown, no picks. 1 sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. Okay? Matthew Stafford, 12 for 16. 196 yards. Almost identical. A little bit better for Goff, right, for the percentage. 2 touchdowns, no picks. The defense, absolutely terrible, but at least we're getting a fun matchup, like the funnest you could have asked for. Kyron Williams, 6 carries, 22 yards. David Montgomery, 10 carries, 43 yards. Tutty. Jahmyr Gibbs, 4 carries, 26 yards. Tutty. It's like the best tutty machine that's in the NFL. Name a better tutty duo than Montgomery, Thunder, and Lightning with Gibbs. I mean, you can't. I mean, at some point you could say, at one point, late, early, you could say Najee Harris and Jalen Warren maybe for a week or two, but not every week. Because sometimes they both can score, but not like this. These guys score every game. Josh Reynolds, 5 receptions, 80 yards. Gibbs has got 4 receptions, 43 yards as a machine. So, running and catching. Amon-Ra, 3 receptions, 42 yards. Doesn't even have a touchdown. Jamison Williams, 2 receptions, 19 yards. Sam Laporta, 2 receptions, 10 yards, usually red zone look, and a touchdown. Puka, 5 receptions, 106 yards, yak yards, off the chain, tutty. Tutu Atwell, not as good as Puka, but, if you give him looks, he'll score 2. 1 reception, 38 yards, tutty. Okay. All right, let me get some photos up. I'm glad the Lions and the Rams are having the success, and especially this guy, Jared Goff. I always liked him. I thought he kind of got a bad, deal on the Rams. It's very hard to live up to being like the number 1 pick. we're very critical on players that get picked number 1 and number 2 overall based off the past history, whether that's fair or not. But there's just more criticism and a lot more buzz when everyone is pointing out all the bad shit that you do for every quarterback. So if you can be mentally strong and overcome that, and then get on a team where they actually believe in you, and Jared Goff is like that dude, so I wouldn't be shocked in the next 6 years if they get to an NFC championship game, or if they can improve the O-line more with Penei Sewell right now, and with the defense other than Aiden Hutchinson and Branch and a few others. Can we get that defense to being top 10? And then once you have 2 top 10 units, yeah, maybe they'll hit the Super Bowl. And I'm here for it. Jared Goff and the Goff-fence. Sometimes he plays shitty. Sometimes he throws, 2, 3, 4 picks. Yes, he's Jared Goff. Okay, he's not going to be perfect. And that's usually what's going to happen if you're like 10th through, 16th as quarterback. Sometimes you'll be middle of the pack. You'll be the 16th rank. Sometimes Jared Goff will be a top 10 quarterback. I mean, you should think so. I mean, look at the weapons. Laporta, Montgomery, Gibbs, right? Amon-Ra. Like, who has a better collective people to throw to other than the Niners? And then maybe some would say the Lions is the best. Hard to argue. This has been my probably favorite running back out of the draft in quite a while. It usually takes something different for me to be able to get excited about a running back, especially if you've been watching since like the mid-'80s. There's a lot of people that are good, but they don't really stand out. And I like the direction of Gibbs, and he will definitely be one of the big reasons why the team will end up making deep runs each year. Oh, absolutely. I would definitely have you on my staff, bro. Work ethic alone and commitment alone. If you can grind it out, make it to mod status, and really take, things seriously and with what you like, and you start, going through all the articles and reading. And have you felt now, because, like I said, I've been trying to get you on it, the Twitter/X, but ever since these last couple weeks of just joining, right, and the stuff that I've sent you and the stuff that you've researched on your own, don't you feel that like you're like 10 times smarter on duck knowledge and college football than what you were before? It's like one thing you can go out of your way and go to the apps and you can go to Bleacher or ESPN or scroll on your phone. But once you have something like that app where it brings everything together on one app and you don't need to go anywhere else for anything, you'll get the photos, you'll get the quick highlight videos, you'll get the opinions, you'll get famous people, you'll get the beat writers, you'll get normal people, you get the hardcore fans, the bandwagons, whatever. But it's like I feel that your knowledge game on the Ducks, and I feel that if we have that information, then you can kind of see the game from like my point of view. And I feel that the Duck level, Duck passion and the Duck level of commitment that you have is like the same as me. And I usually don't meet too many people that are on that level, that really care. There's a couple people on social media that do Oregon Ducks, that go deep and care, and go through all the extra information. You got to go through it if you're a super fan, right? Get you through to the off season until you get to the spring game, and then you're back, into the season and whatnot. But now with NIL deals and transfer portals and people committing and decommitting, it's like now it's almost like a year-round kind of fucking spectacle. Like, you might end up randomly, getting some like star player where all it is like a photo or a post on Instagram or Twitter, and you get to see what they look like in pads or whatever, and welcome to the team, and then it may take 2 years to remember them, but then you end up getting a superstar player. I can't wait to see what we get on defense. Jahmyr Gibbs. Agility, power, speed. He's got it all. He's a man. Let them know. Like, sub, donate if you can. Halftime, 21-17 Lions. I saw that. I appreciate you. Someone who came by and by the graces of the sports gods comes in with a drive-by dono. I love you. Watching the game. Pook is on the screen. Dude, seriously. Sometimes it's like, I don't even know like how it's going to happen, but I just got to pray that we at least get one or two people to like make a good situation from a bad situation. And you're the man. Thank you so much. I mean, I got to pay my cell phone bill and like, the next couple days, and I don't want it to get turned off. So it's the basics, you know what I'm saying? For mental health and to help O-Dog because he's good, Mr. Williams says, I want you to pay your cell phone, $69 dono, always for the mental health, always helping your boy out, coming through in the clutch, hour and 45 minutes in. Mental health is important. Take care of it and you. Appreciate you, brother. And you get the Rams logo. Oh, little stacks on stacks. Let me save the stream. Stacks on stacks. Little racks on racks. Little cactus jack. Bang, bang. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it, too, because I was getting worried. I was like, man, I'm going to need at least somebody in the next couple days to hopefully be a hero for me, just to have the basics. There's nothing worse, where it's like if you get something turned off and then you got to pay a fee to get it turned back on. It's like maybe you'll have the money like a day after that, but then all of a sudden you don't, and then it's like, it's like I'm already in the hole, and then you want to put me even more in the hole. Like, how is that helping me? I appreciate you too. You guys are playing good. Like I said, two teams, amazing offenses, shitty defenses. It is what it is. Both fan bases know it, but you're going to get explosion type plays like we saw with Washington and Texas in the semis and college football. Freaking choking on my own spit. Stafford. Incomplete. That'll happen. $69 dono. Oh, dog. Appreciate you. Thank you, man. It's nice to be able to have people step up and also realizing, you're not going to be able, I mean, I guess it just depends on everyone's situation, but everyone's different with what they got going on. So it's like, you might not have the same person every day or every week or month, like things change, but what doesn't change is the loyalty for some of y'all. For me and Paisley, appreciate you. Stafford, pump fake, going down. Uka. Thank you so much, Mike. How long are you leaving right now? You want like an Otani or something? 21-17 Detroit. Stud. Mr. Williams, he's like, yeah, I got you. Third down and 11. Timeout. Let's go, baby. It's like I like being able to like watch the game, talk to you guys, like multitask, produce the show, do all the work that needs to be done with things that are changing on the screen and whatnot. But I like being able to see like close-ups of the people, so that way I can I know what they look like. I'm not stupid, but it's like kind of cool to be able to see like an action shot, of the guy that did something, and just I don't know. I just love HD 4K photos, Mike. Stafford going deep. 1-on-2, and that's why you play defense and not wide receiver. Detroit, pick that off. He's like, now I'm just watching the game. I'm hitting you with a thank you. Boom. Sent you a message on Instagram. Thank you. 21-17 Lions. 4th and 11 Rams. Punting it away. Oh, almost blocked. Ooh. No, he's a Rams fan. So he's obviously nervous that the Rams are in the game, and knowing that Rams fans are confident, they think they can win this. And I don't blame you. I think that this is the most 50-50 matchup all weekend. So I thought that, even though the Rams are a lower seed, and then people don't see that much of them, kind of like the Packers, but if you get hot at the right time and things start gelling, you just got to hope that the special teams or defense can maybe bail you out and do something huge, and then you just play what you normally do on offense, which is good football, and then maybe you can find a way to upset the better team. So well, this guy's good. And you feel with Puka, like he can do it on any team. That's the Sean McVay method. You make a player so fucking good, it's like, no, they're good other places. They have to come to your team. No, I'll make a guy, and then he can go anywhere. Like, how many times can you say that? It's usually the other way around, where you get guys that are good in one place, they go somewhere else, and they're just ass. And they're not, even close to being the player that you thought you were getting. That's what you normally get. I got this badass one, a 2-2. Plus, I like staying busy during the commercials. I don't like just being lazy. I like to be able to multitask and put on a show for you guys. You guys deserve it. If I was at a place, I would want to go to a place where the person is constantly working. There is no breaks. There's no just sitting there and bullshitting. It's just straight up vibing, but working, the whole 3-4 hours straight. I got a behind the scenes. Oh, let's see if I can get that one. I like that one. David Montgomery rumbling and a bumbling. Is it baseball season yet? There's a few of you in the room that are on my level. God damn, I'm ready, man. I am ready. Ready, man. Dodgers. LA Dodgers. Poker chip Dodgers. Second down and 6. Pass incomplete. Mr. Williams setting the tone. Maybe we will get to goal. Appreciate you. And we still got the snow here. It didn't snow today, but it was below freezing. So we got about 4 or 5 inches of snow here. And then it'll be cold tomorrow. Me and Paisley, are still going out, but not as long because I can't have her out in like 15-degree temperature more than like 15 or 20 minutes at a time. But a couple backyard run around, so she's having fun. Oh, baby, what a catch. Oh, baby, Amon-Ra St. Brown. He says, I can go to USC and actually pan out as a wide receiver. Best wide receiver from USC history. Better than Keyshawn. First down, Detroit Lions. Top 5 NFL wide receiver in the game, Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's nice. How do I know? Because I drafted him. He's like the most exciting player out of USC since Reggie Bush, but it's like Reggie Bush was kind of like flash in the pan. Amon-Ra can be like Hall of Fame player. Like he's that good. That's cool. You know what I mean? Like I'm not a USC fan myself, but I recognize that not many USC receivers, they're big names and usually they don't pan out. But Amon-Ra is like superstar panning out. That's cool. Like to be able to see that like develop. Pac-12, baby, regardless of where it's at. I mean, it doesn't exist anymore, but I mean, it still does to me. Every once in a while, I'll throw on like an old like Pac-8 or Pac-10 game. Try to find Keith Jackson commentating on it. Good old ABC grandpa voice. He was awesome. Like some game with like Joey Harrington in it. Or with Haloti Ngata. 2nd down and 9. Shotgun set. Goff. Let's go, Amon-Ra. First down, Lions. And it's cool because I have a couple college football games on the PS2. And the last one that I played, I took the time to put all the names in. And they actually will say the names in the college football if you take the time to actually type them in. So instead of it being like quarterback 3 or, Oregon Ducks 3, they'll say Harrington for 15. And then you can put your own name in, but obviously they can't say my last name. But if you have a common name like Smith, you can like create yourself. Like Matt Payton. They would probably be able to say Payton on there, I would assume. But Ngata's in that one. So I was like, oh, shit, I forgot I had this game. Ngata is a beast. Nice tackle. Yep, Pittman as well. Pittman is more top 10, top 12 category. But if AR has a big season, it wouldn't be surprising if Pittman gets like top 7 status. I'm not sure if he'll ever be good as top 5. That's a lot of talent in the NFL. Also you got guys like Garrett Wilson. If, Aaron Rodgers could be healthy, that's another guy that might be a top 5 receiver. But I do like Pittman on that next tier. Even though Evans gets shit on, Keenan Allen gets shit on, and then these guys are, top 10 guys, but they never get talked about like top 5 until they retire, and then you realize how good Mike Evans and Keenan Allen really were compared to a lot of the guys that are in or were, and you're like, oh, these guys were really good. I do like Pittman. All right, baby. 21-17, 3rd down and 21. Oh, Mr. Williams, some photos. Pass to the sideline. Sam Laporta, he's awesome. He's got great yak yards. He's very athletic. He reminds you of, the way like Kelsey and Kittle and Gronk would play. They would catch the football, but then they would look to attack, and if throwing guys out of the way, leaping over guys, running over guys, just being athletic and trying to get the most yak yards as possible. Some guys are going to be more just catch guys like Mark Andrews, but some guys it's like when Kittle gets the rock, he can take a 5-yard slant, like maybe 50 and score. But, maybe Mark Andrews doesn't do that. Doesn't mean he's not as good. It's just different. Some guys are better in the red zone. Kick is up. It's got the distance, and it's good. 24-17, Detroit. All right, let's see if we can get Mr. Williams a couple things. Shohei Ohtani, electric. Okay, electric. Shohei Ohtani for Mr. Williams. And then if it just did, it's like you already won the sweepstakes. You already won the off season. You're done. You don't need to do anything, right? So they signed one cousin of mine, and then they decided to get my other cousin. Unbelievable. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, my cousin. They're going to be fun. Appreciate Mr. Williams for saving the day. And hopefully that'll give us a little momentum before we end the stream. Smash that. And Teoscar. Yeah, I'll throw Teoscar up there too. I'm going to miss Teoscar.
We live our lives on our home side. And those who go, it's called
Yeah, ridiculous. Boom. 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 He struck out a lot, but I like the production. I mean, there was definitely a lot of strikeouts, but there was games that he helped us win, and he was a fan favorite. Maybe not like JP Crawford, like that type of player. For us, I think the three main ones. I mean, that people kind of vibed. They vibed with JP Crawford, they vibed with Julio because he's our GOAT, he's our Griffey, and then I think Eugenio Suarez was a big fan favorite. At third, because not only could he hit, even though he struck out and sometimes played bad, but he could defend, and he was like a top 5, top 10 third baseman. And it's hard to have a good third baseman that can defend and be good at it and hit 30 homers. So, oh my gosh, they're not messing around. I mean, and trust me, me being Japanese too, I'm on the up and up, dude. I got both my cousins on there. They give me all the scoop. Then Teoscar on the pager, hits me up on the pager, gives me all the info, and gonna be but it sucks though with the whole like UCL, we're not gonna be able to see him pitch, so we're gonna have to wait after this season. It's only hitting, and then once we see the pitching and hitting, that's when the real Shohei Ohtani fucking circus begins. It's gonna be that first fucking start on opening day where he's fucking pitching and playing like either cleanup or batting second or fifth, depending on where they have the roster sitting at that point. And then there's going to be a game where he gets 10 to 15 Ks and homers once or twice. And it's going to be like the biggest thing on planet Earth. Not as big as Stranger Things, but Boom! He says, we are going to make sure that you don't have air for dinner. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, a little Cactus Jack. No flags here. $31. Man, we ain't talking Reggie Miller. We appreciate that. I appreciate you. Bang, bang. Thank you, Mang. Let me know what I can do for you. Thank you for supporting the channel to make sure that I am not homeless sleeping in a ditch. So that way I can continue the dream. Yes. Much appreciated. Boom. Text message sent. Thank you. Appreciate it. 24-17. Reflect. Number one. Puka, nice. Boom. Let's get to the second goal. 24-17 Lions. Mr. Williams, GOAT. Reflect, GOAT. It's good. It's a lot better than zero, especially when you have things that need, just the basics to get taken care of, like paying the internet bill, paying the cell phone, being able to eat, live, take care of Paisley, the necessities. Shotgun set, but I appreciate it very, very much. And we'll get other reflects and other Mr. Williams in the future. Oh, what a run! Let's go! That's run by Rivers there. It's funny how that works. One person does it and then another, and then it snowballs like that. You just have to have a certain amount of people in the room and, the right type of people and the right situation, and then you can have something magical happen. I mean, hell, my thing is, I would love to be able to have something big so that way I can actually give back. And I've always done that. It's like, especially, if someone does something really generous, it's like, I appreciate it. I need the fucking dono bad. But, sometimes, to show that love and appreciation back, it's not something that most people do. Oh, tackle out of bounds on Cooper Kupp. Yeah, you guys are great. Legends in the game. We're too good, and we're at too many subs, and we're too overqualified than a lot of the other channels, So we got to make sure we're setting the example. No, but as a Ducks fan, man, I really don't like the direction of the DeBoa leaving and then how it's affecting the rest of the chips to fall, so to speak. I feel for you, man. It sucks. Wow. First down, Rams. Smash it. Is that a lot? 1.2 billion. The Mariners, until I die, won't even spend that. And they're like, from now until then. Dodgers did it in a matter of a week. I want to have Dodger money. I want to have that, confidence that the people actually want championships. They don't want just the people that own the team to get raises so they can get another yacht. Can we just try to get a championship? Damn it. Like, what are you saying? Like, Pacific Northwest fans aren't good enough? We're not the fucking A's. Golly, don't treat us like the A's. No. We ain't the A's. Yeah, dead. Yeah. The one bright spot is, I don't know all the ins and outs with Jed, but from what I've seen and the build up and the vibe that he had, I'm not sure how long that, he'll last for you. Just like DeBoer in Alabama, it could be something that lasts a year or two, or maybe for 5 or longer. You don't know, but it's a decent hire. I don't think that it's a bad hire. If that happened to Oregon, depending on what year and who we have options to, it's not like your number one choice, obviously, and not a lot of people know who he is. But as you learn more about him and seeing what he was able to do, Arizona there, then I think it'll make you feel a little bit more confident than just seeing the name and like, who the hell's that? If you follow me on socials, you got it on the radio. I can give you a link that if you want to be able to watch the game, if you want to, you just have to message me on like Instagram or Twitter X, and I can send you a link. Yeah, flip out you will after you give them a deal. You'll have to, Michael, he's getting in on the party. He's like, well, shit, if everyone else is doing it. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, cactus jack, bang, bang. Funny how when one turns into 2 and 2 turns into 3. Michael with a $5, and I appreciate that a lot. Michael, supporting. Appreciate you. Let me know what you want to do for a photo or photos. You let me know what you want to see, and I got you. Appreciate the 3 of you. It means a lot. 24-20 Lions. Field goal is up, and it's good. It's a back and forth game. The most 50-50 game of all weekend. 105, let's get to 2. All right, Rams. 24-20. Making this a game. Okay. Flex on them. All right, Goff. 24 points. Plenty to go. Game plan. Jahmyr Gibbs. Give it to him. Electric. Yeah, me too. But sometimes if you just, some are unpredictable. I don't think we saw any of these 3 games with these teams scoring this much, or Miami scoring only 7. The Kansas City winning doesn't surprise me. Houston winning 45-14 is a huge surprise, which a lot of us figured the Browns would win, by 3 to 7 points, and got absolutely destroyed. And, CJ Stroud, good for you. And then people thinking that Dallas would win at home and then choking again, and then Green Bay coming in and mollywopping them. So, 48-32, which felt like it was 48-12, 45-14 against the Browns with the Texans, and 26-7, and the Dolphins not being able to beat teams above 500. Like, sometimes you just look at the writing on the wall, and some things are going to continue to stay the same into the end of the season for the team, or they're going to make a flip in the switch. But sometimes, your identity is on the wall. Can you just see it before everyone else? And how are you going to exploit it? And so sometimes you can be a decent team in the regular season, and then you just shit the bed. So don't be a fan of a team that shits the bed. What do you want to see for a photo? What is your favorite player? God bless the GOATs. Yes, I hope so too. Injured in the 10. Get better. Hope he's okay as well. And that's what we want, right? Isn't it kind of shitty, though, as like me being a defensive guy, just knowing, the type of football game that people like to watch? People don't like to watch like gritty Alabama, Michigan kind of games. People like games like this. People like games like Washington, Texas. So it's like, for me being a defensive fan, it's like ultimately a majority of America just likes offense. And that's why the offensive players get treated like royalty and the defense don't. Because, it's all about the big splash plays from the quarterback, running back, wide receiver, and tight end. Ooh, my God. Jesus. Someone call 911. God, he got fucking obliterated. Jeez. Holy shit. Goff. Amon-Ra. Amon-Ra, CeeDee Lamb, Amon-Ra. I love CeeDee Lamb. Trust me, I love CeeDee Lamb. But Amon-Ra is better. Even though CeeDee Lamb had a career year this year, he was fantastic. They didn't look so good today, though. It sucks to have a reputation of being arguably the best regular season team of all time in any sport. The Dallas Cowboys. That is terrible. Taking away all the accomplishments of the Super Bowls in the past, where it's so long ago, no one even remembers. And if you do, it's the Aikman and the Emmett and the Urban fans. And pretty soon, that generation's going to get older. And then it's just going to be like, oh, we won? We won Super Bowls? 3 out of 4 years? No. Good old Carson Wentz. We should be duck hunting or getting some elk or deer. Big hunter. Kids. (24-20) Lions. Minute left in the third quarter. Fun to watch. Stafford out of the tent. He's like, I'm tough. Fuck it. He's like, give me a supplement. It's like, yeah, as long as your arm or leg isn't broken, you go into the end. Goff? Oh. 12 noon, you know what time it is? Time for a sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. I know who Billy Sims is. You know, like I said, a lot of people, you know, some people know how old I am and some people, you know, don't, but absolutely, man. All I do is the research of the history. Good choice. That's like a choice that someone would do on this channel. You know, you don't do that on other channels. Like, you know, it's like that's what makes it fun too, because it's like you get a lot of like the unique names. Maybe not the most popular, maybe not the best, but they were still like, you know, good. Maybe not, you know, the most popular name, but oh baby, rocking the 20 before Barry. You know, I try to be an artist. You feel me? I like to paint the picture. It's weird seeing like the 20, you just, oh, it's Barry, but it's not. I got to give you the vibe, right? White jersey, blue jersey. And I like being able to see the eyes and like, you know, I like being able to see like emotion, you know, if we can get a good one. And then I got to, you know, cap it off with like the ultimate. Because I'm always going to go, you know, I'm always going to go ham on it, right? We never do anything half-ass here. You know, the extra commitment, right? And I hit you with the fucking photo with the auto on it. Come on, brother. It's like mic drop right there, dude. It's like, you ain't going to get no better than that, baby. Appreciate you. Good choice, man. That was a good choice. Like, you could ask like 100 people and that name would come up maybe like once. Maybe, depending on how much of a football guy or girl that we're talking with. Oh, very cool. Fourth quarter, 24-20. We got a shootout. Best game of the night, baby. Look at those names. Billy Sims, Leroy Selman on the Bucks, AP, Keith Jackson, Todd Ann to the Eagles, Baker Mayfield. Very cool. I had to throw the college stuff in there for you too. Brett, what's good, bro? Cowboys, man. You know, like I always have to keep it 100, and it shows you it's like the owner of the team and the GM and the coach and the play callers are the most important thing for the Dallas Cowboys, but it gets treated with the least importance. If you want to be able to have success, it's more than firing Mike McCarthy, bringing in Belichick, and it's going to solve all the problems. Whether you keep Dak or you get rid of him, it's more deeper than that. And, you know, it's like if we can ever get Jerry Jones to like step away, you know, and then you get the right coach in there, like the Jimmy Johnson coach that you had when you had Aikman, Emmett, and Irvin, and Leon Lett and Dion and all those other studs, right? Then maybe things can turn around. But I mean, shit, man, 3-12-5 seasons, like they're going to be known as like the best regular season team of all time, but they just can't get it done in the fucking playoffs. But maybe the Buccaneers, maybe we can find a way to beat the Eagles. So then you can live vicariously through me if the Bucks beat the Eagles. I was talking about you today, earlier in the stream, actually. He doesn't show up on the streams. And I was talking about you earlier. I was like, oh, yeah, it's my boy Brett, you know. We played on the basketball team, but then I stopped and then did the sales thing. I was like, not very many people are that cool. Like, everyone is a little bit different. But it's always good to be able to have a couple that you might keep in touch with still years later. Go Ducks. Oh, no worries. Hi, Paisley. It's my boy. I don't know how long my bro gonna be in here. But I gotta hit you with at least one. I'm out. Hold up. It'll be worth it. It'll be worth it. Where the hell is it? Oh, baby. Can't go wrong there, though. Whether the Dallas hate it or not. Tough day, man. Tough day, man. But you're a Duck fan, so it's always a lot of something to look forward to. There it is. Sometimes you just got to be able to take the time, baby. I mean, whether you were more of a 49er guy or whatnot, but I mean, when they played with Aikman, Irvin, and Emmett, that shit was, you know, whether you could recognize it or not, but I mean, you either went rooted for it or rooted against it, but it was damn good. Per Joe Dirt, aka Joe Dirt Day. All right, Lions. 24-20, 13 minutes left in the fourth quarter. It will be a battle to the end. Brett, my boy. Second down and 9, 24-20 Lions. Rams, they're in it. Like I said, both defenses are not good. I don't think either fan base would argue with that. And the offenses are very explosive, especially against each other, since they know that they can get plays essentially on every down. It may come down to, like I said at the beginning of the game, whoever has the ball last. Yeah, my first graded card that I ever purchased, was an Emmitt Smith 1990 score supplemental rookie card, graded PSA 9, when he broke the record. Really rare Emmitt too. Very cool card. Definitely my childhood. Card came out when I was 8, when I was second grade. Nice little short gain from Kyron Williams. Game's been electric. It's been fun. Started off slow, picked it up. Appreciate you guys very much. Flex on them. Jared Goff, 20 for 23, 255 yards, 1 TD, no picks. Matthew Stafford, 20 for 28, 288 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Kyron. Oh, baby. Oh, what a stiff arm. Kyron Williams plays a lot bigger, like I said, for his frame, just like Pacheco and Gibbs, all three of them. They got a little bit more oomph, as a running back. It's either you watch film or you watch games and you see it or you don't, but man, Pacheco, Williams, Gibbs, they're fun to watch, man. They're fun to watch, man. You man. Love you, brother. You got a favorite Dallas Cowboy player of your favorite from when you were a kid? I mean, unless it ends up being the obvious of Aikman or Irvin or Emmett, but I can throw up a photo. What a catch by Puka. Puka's ridiculous. 1-on-5. It doesn't fucking matter. Give it to Puka. He says 500. Puka. He says, dude, I can take on any corner in the league. That's how good Puka has been this year. The number one wide receiver in the NFL. That's how he's playing. I am the number one guy. I'm going to break all the records. Incredible. Incredible. It's at the snap, and then after Puka catches it on 4 guys. Yeah, he's kind of good. Good yak yards, good size, good hands, trustworthy. If you go to him, he's not going to drop. Great athlete, man. Good eye by Sean McVay finding a gem like that. Hope you feel better with your injury. But at least the Kraken are winning, so it makes the injury a little bit better. Instead of being like the Kraken on a 9-game losing streak, something like we already had, on top of an 8, and then having body parts fail you temporarily until they get better. 24-20, less than 9 minutes to go. Rams down by 4. They are in the red zone. Can any defense stop anybody tonight? Doesn't look like it. Shotgun set. Little screen. Good closing speed. Nice tackle. 105. Let's get to 2. Yeah, let's go. 10 more. Shout out to all the people on Twitter/X watching. Appreciate you. Mr. Williams, $69. Mental health, supporting the cause, making sure the phone doesn't get turned off. My dude. Reflect with a 31. My dude. Appreciate that. Michael. Billy Sims. White shoes. Appreciate you. $5 holla. Good game so far. Yo, boy. My boy, Brett. Tough, man. That's right. It's, being an NFL fan, if you're not a fan of a team that's like in your hometown state, or if you don't have one, like Oregon, Oregon is, gosh, I mean, you literally are going to have fans of like all the teams in Oregon. Some are going to be a little bit more popular than others. Like, there's definitely quite a few Eagles in Oregon. Philadelphia transplants, that moved to Oregon and that, have like Irish pubs and stuff. And, you'll get plenty of Seahawks, plenty of Niners, plenty of Chargers, plenty of Raiders, the West Coast. And then also if you have a connection from when you were a kid, something there. So. Yeah, throw me another player. If you got another player that you want me to, throw up, just type it in the stream, dude. I'll hook everyone up as much as I can. I try to work throughout the whole stream. I don't like to have like dead moments. Like I like to be able to be clicking like fucking 40 buttons before we get into the commercial break. So clickety clack, that's what I do. This guy's kind of good. I'm more of a Barry Sanders guy myself, but mad respect. Mad love. Beast mode. You a dog. It's a tight photo. Fire. Like being able to do live streams, like going back in time and like implementing YouTube technology and like being able to do like live play-by-play and reactions with like fucking Jerry Rice and Montana and Dion playing, like Emmett, Aikman, Irvin playing, and I'm actually doing like the Monday night game or the playoff. Oh my God, that'd be incredible. And if you're gonna do time travel, that's what you do it for. So if you actually go to the game. Man, Montana to Rice would have been insane. Hack looking fire every day. You give everybody the hack attack, baby. And I saw that footage of Vince Dunn, even when he was on previous teams, on his, journey up, through almost every team that he's been on, kick us up, and it's good, that if someone does a cheap shot, or someone tries to mess with him, he doesn't have a problem dropping gloves and just going after you. He doesn't even wait for the person to like acknowledge they did something wrong. He just like, okay, you fucking did something to my guy. I'm going to end you. And then, yeah, so very cool. I did see that footage yesterday. I was like, oh, let me watch that. I think I watched it like 5-6 times. I was like, okay, you're gonna check Maddie into the wall. You're done. And I was like, oh, it's gonna be good. And then this is after check, and then after the check, and then I was like, all right, Vince. That was my reaction right there. Yeah. And I watched it like 5 times. It's cool. I like this win streak that we're on. Release the Kraken. Defend the deep. One of the hottest teams in the NHL. Us. Got cool jerseys. Cool, man. Mental health. We talk about it about 2 or 3 times on every stream. If you have a problem, seek help. Talk about it with somebody. You can talk about it with us. We'll make things better. Big facts. Don't be afraid to speak up. Be the man. Be the woman. Mental health. You only got one. Take care of yourself. That means like getting outside, eating better, listening to some music, talking to friends, definitely taking a walk if you haven't done that in a minute. Obviously, some people got snowy conditions. But if you, everyone can make an excuse on a reason why not to do something unless you're just like physically unable, like Megan, like certain things she can't do right now, injured, right? But, put your mind to it. I mean, hell, I fucking walk an hour and a half every day, 7 days a week. There's definitely days where I don't want to, but Paisley needs it, and she's the most important thing in my life. So as far as that connection, and with me and her, and being like my the dog father and the Dada, so. I mean, hell, I had shin splints in both of my legs, and it was painful, but I kept walking, and those shin splints probably lasted over a month, But when you love someone, something, pet, family, however you want to, whatever relationship that you have, you go, you put in effort, you get the effort back. You put in love, you get love back. Eminem, one of my favorites. Legend, GOAT. 24-23 Lions. Wow, this game is literally the best game, which I had to talk into the sports gods because, I mean, let's be honest, the first 3 games were terrible. Texans, like when you win by that much, like we get it, we're happy for you, but it's like uninteresting if you're not a Houston fan. You're just like, this sucks now. Like I can't even like enjoy the rest of the game. The Chiefs game, same thing. You knew the Dolphins couldn't score. And then obviously Green Bay let Dallas get back into it. But then that one, a lot of people turned it off in the third quarter. I don't like having playoff games being uninteresting by halftime. Like I want them to be like this. The first 3 games get a flag. This one's Bill Electric. Wish the defense was a little bit better, but again, at least we're getting big plays on offense. Spaghetti places. Mom, spaghetti. Fuck Rams fans right now, Lions fans even more. Like it's like whoever has the ball last, and then there hasn't really been a whole lot of mistakes. 1 fumble, for the Rams, 1 fumble, for the Lions. Hasn't been, no interceptions. So whoever fucks up here in the last 8 minutes, might lose the matchup. We'll find out. This guy's kind of good. You might have heard of him. Just as good as the brothers. Let's read a dictionary. Eminem. Spaghetti sounds amazing. Don't really get to eat like that anymore, but I think about it. If I ever do get a chance, and I can make my own. Goff running for his life. Come on, Goff. You got to play well here. You get a field goal. That ain't going to be enough. Mom, spaghetti. 24-23. Lions. 105-95 to go to get to the next goal. Goff, hands off. Poof, 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 poof. David Montgomery. Oh, 4th down and 4. Play calling. You have to be good at play calling, and that's one thing the Lions need to really improve on besides more offensive line, defense, and obviously scheme and play calling. You know, the Lions don't really do themselves any favors, but they're so young. You know, sometimes you got to crawl before you walk, and if you're going with someone that has more experience, right, and you know, kind of has more of the know-how and has kind of the more hot players in Puka and Kyron Williams, this one could be an upset. What a game. What a game. 24, 23, 7 minutes to go. Fun game. Like, it just as a normal person, as a play caller, you know, if it was me and it's like the game is on the line, Gibbs is in, right? Not Montgomery, or Gibbs and Montgomery are in at the same time. One is a decoy. I give the ball to Gibbs probably on the first 2 carries, you know, if I decide to run. And then the third one is going to go only to Amon-Ra or Laporta. That's it. I'm not saying that I'm a better fucking play caller than them over there, but I know I'd be able to choose the right pieces that would give me the best chance to win. And you go to your best players. You know, you don't just be like, well, let me just give the play call like I ran in the first quarter. Not when the game is on the line in the 4th. You don't go to fucking Josh Reynolds in any scenario on this planet, right? I mean, I'm not the only one that thinks like that. You're not the one that thinks like that either. It's like you go to the only guys that you can trust in that situation, the guys that have the best hands. Sometimes it's not going to be the guy that's the most open. It's the one that you trust the most in a big spot. I don't know why it's so hard for like people to understand that. You know, it's either you know your personnel or you fucking don't. You know sports or you don't. Like, even though you might be a professional or at college, but it doesn't mean that you know what you're doing. You know, and exploiting the defense and getting the big first downs and the big move the chains moments, that determines if you win or lose playoff games. Shit. Us in the room, we could probably have a better coaching staff than some of these fucking teams that have their staff. I mean, some of it is just like common sense. It's not like we're digging so deep into the bag that, oh my God, we're like geniuses. We're like savants, you know, like we're talking about things that no one ever thought. You know, it's just the obvious. It's not like we're saying anything that other people aren't thinking. It's just do it. But that's what really separates, you know, the good GMs and the great GMs, the good head coaches and the great head coaches, the elite play callers and the ones that are just relying on the talent that they have in front of them. Like, are you coaching them up? Are they getting better? You know? And scheme is everything. Not everyone runs the same scheme. So you either know or you don't know. But now you know. Smashed it. The snow in Buffalo is wild. Snowpocalypse in Beaverton, Oregon, and beyond. Hey, 4 or 5 inches, but at least we're not getting any more. But we're not getting any rain or any warm temperatures to melt. So 2 more days of cold, and then Tuesday we get more snow for about 5 hours, like 3 to 8 o'clock, and then we get rain on Wednesday, and then things should start melting pretty quick. Probably in a matter of about 3-4 hours, I would assume everything will be gone. But that's not until Wednesday. 24-23, best game of the weekend. The first 3 games, in my opinion, were a disappointment. I didn't really enjoy any of the 3 games. Did you guys? Like, honestly, like, we can be NFL fans, but that doesn't mean that we watched it all the way from beginning to end, let alone enjoyed it beginning to end. Sometimes when one team starts mollywhopping the other, you lose interest. You're like, gosh, this is not what I expected. Like, you want games like this one where you don't know who's going to win. It's the playoffs for the NFL. Golly, this guy's a superstar. Golly, this guy is a fucking super fucking star. Jeez My God, the body size and the yak yards, like once you get him the ball, he's got amazing hands, amazing speed. But the best part about him is you can't tackle him. He's just as valuable as like an A.J. Brown or a Mike Evans. Like he's a guy that can catch short, he can catch long. He's got great yak yards. Like, he's giving you more after the initial play, like a lot more. Like even guys like A.J. Brown sometimes can't do that. Even guys like Jay Jetta, like sometimes can't do that. That's impressive. Like, where the fucking Puka Nacua? Like, this is the superstar wide receiver in the NFL. First down, Rams. Unbelievable, man. That's why with the playoffs sometimes are amazing. You get to see, old guys play like young guys, and you get to see a superstar blossom in front of your very eyes, baby. And even the other guy that doesn't get the ball much still scores. Imagine if they went to him half the time. He could be putting up stats like Puka if he was the focal point. Not as good as Puka. He can't break away from tackles like Puka, but he can get in the end zone like Puka. If you give Tutu enough opportunities, he's like a good complement, but not as good. But could be, a guy if you gave Puka, 8 targets. Oh shit, Higbee. Oh my, he might have got hurt there. Undercut his ass. Someone call 911. Damn, he popped him. Oh, shit. Went for the knees. God damn, are you trying to tear his ACL? Jesus Christ, dude. Oh my God. When you see that, that's normally like ACL, PCL, and you wonder why people's legs, when they move like all fucked up and they get bent weird, people get landed on each other. People like pull each other down. Why the hell are you going for the guy's legs like that? That is dirty. I would rather see a guy get hit up higher, not necessarily the head, but the chest. But it's like head and knees should be off limits, man. Knees off limits, head off limits, chest, growing thigh pad area, whatever. But knees off limits, head off limits. But we know that I'm happy that he got up. I've seen people get hit like that. That's an ACL tear. So that or something. His leg got bent weird. And sometimes your legs can bend, but they can only bend so much in one direction. Cooper Kupp. He's like the forgotten elite player that no one talks about anymore. Like, oh yeah, they got Cooper Kupp. I forgot. That's how good Puka Nacua has been. Third down and 4. Get rid of it. Good tackle. Flag on the play. Uh-oh, by the quarterback. Holding on the offense. He's like, I'm good. Forgot about me? I don't like that, man. That shit makes me fucking, like I played Pop Warner and I had my season end, and I ended up breaking my leg on the bottom of a pile trying to get a fumble and having like a bunch, having my leg bend all the way back and snap. And even when I see guys get hit on the legs and whatnot, like, oh, man. 3rd and 14. Let's just say I played basketball primarily after that. 24-23. $420. It landed on a good time. 420 is a great time. RVD, whole, effing, show, Sabu. 420, baby. Aiden Hutchinson, 24-23, 420 left. Third down and 14. Big play of the game. Shotgun set. Stafford steps up. Oh, incomplete. Any flags? Wow. Great defense by the Rams. No. The Lions. Wow. Detroit. They're like, we can play defense once a game. Here it is. Yeah, it looks like it was a penalty here. They grabbed Puka. Should have been a penalty. Should have been a flag. Of course there was holding. Is that like the refs trying to enable Detroit to win now by getting enough first downs and then being able to bleed the clock out because they know that that's more of a marketable thing as having the Lions advance? For real, though. It's like calling penalties or not calling penalties in key moments definitely sways the outcome of games. Sometimes it doesn't, but sometimes it does. Good game. Whoever has the ball last wins. Sports Gods, ESP, you're welcome. Let's go. It's like you don't have a guy that you started slow in the offense and you didn't even really give him the ball that much in the first 6 weeks. This is one of the best weapons in the NFL, period. Out of any running back in the NFL, this is one of the best. So if you got something that's one of the best, like use it. You know, be a creative play caller. You know, and you got to be able to get the most out of a player like that. And if you look at how Detroit played kind of late, you know, he was able to get some really, game-breaking plays done. Special player. Best game of the weekend. Smash the like button. Yeah, like the game that we watched where it was a flag party. Like how many was there? Like 20? It was like every minute I was doing this. It's like, all right, flag. And then I was like, and then it was like another first down and then flag. I mean, it was ridiculous. Like it was more than 10 per team, right? Back and forth. Yeah. And I like it because it's not just like speed. It's what he does with the speed. You know, it's like you get certain guys that have like good 40 times or they break records at the combine, but like John Ross, right? But then he didn't really turn out to like being an NFL, like good wide receiver. You were just fast. But with like Gibbs, like he's fast, but then it's like he's actually using his speed like laterally, vertically, putting his head down, trying to run over side to side. Like you get to see like all of his athleticism and the speed being used properly. That wasn't a dig at UW or Ross. That was just, a player that I was thinking of that's kind of known as being a fast player, but maybe didn't really exceed the or get to the expectations that we wanted, just like DeAnthony Thomas for my Ducks and LaMichael James. They're still Oregon Duck legends, but a lot of people as fans on the outside see them as failures, but I see them as sports gods. So, and that's how it will be. Joey Harrington will always be an Oregon sport god for me. It always will. It, changed my whole mindset with Oregon football. Joey Harrington, comeback kid, my dude, DeAnthony, Black Mamba, LaMichael. Those are my guys. 24-23 Lions. Like name another running back that's as electric or shifty as him. Like maybe the only other one that you could think of is maybe Pacheco. But I don't know if there's anyone else that really runs like him. Because Pacheco doesn't run with as much flash. It's like you get it at times with Pacheco a little bit, but it's more like kind of shoulder movements, and then he like goes, and then tries to like take guys head on. With Gibbs is like he looks for contact sometimes, like towards the sideline, like trying to stiff arm and whatever. But he's more like, I'm trying to get you not to touch me. Montgomery is initiating contact. Gibbs is like, give me the ball, and I'm trying to juke like 4 motherfuckers and get like a touchdown, in 30 yards. Like, I'm just trying to juke 4 guys. You're not touching me, and I'm going to use my speed to get in the end zone. That's what makes Gibbs like electric, because he can play like a Montgomery if he wants, but he can play like that elusive back, like a Roger Craig, Marshall Faulk, but with a different type of juice, a little bit of Barry Sanders juice in him. Fitting because he's on the Lions. Achane. Yeah, Achane is nice too. Especially if you watched his highlights and watched him play. You're like, geez Louise, where the hell did this guy come from? Definitely makes you open your eyes in fantasy for the next year. You have to keep your eyes and ears on everything. Montgomery. Trying to bleed the clock out, trying to eliminate the Rams' timeout strategy. 1-point game. Amazing, huh? Well, they got rid of Montgomery. They got rid of Khalil Mack. They got rid of Roquan Smith. That tells me that they're dumb. So, if you can't recognize that those are some of the best players that are literally playing right now, and it's like you can put those guys on any team and they're going to be successful. Even Montgomery on a shitty line will still get you something. If he has a medium line, you're going to get more. If he's got an elite line, he'll go beast mode. He'll get you over 1,000 and 10 tutties. He's that good. Might not be a top 5 back, but he can play like a top 10 back, top 12, and that's from an RB2 position. With Gibbs getting more of the looks now. That's hella good. Bears dumb. Caleb Williams says, I don't want to play for you. Shit, I wouldn't want to play for them either. You're like, I don't like him anymore. You think you're worth this much money? Say, get rid of him. He sucks. I hate him. It's like, wasn't he like player of the year and, best running back in the league? I don't care. That was Sarah in the Colts fan base, right? And then you got it worked out, and then you started getting touchdowns right away. And then you realize every running back that you had play in place of him, and anything that you have on your roster, if he's not there, you're looking at a lot of shit that has to happen in the next off season to fix that shit. So he's a good fit, good player. A Wisconsin running back that actually panned out. Not that the others didn't pan out, but they all had their moments, like Ron Dane. You'll get moments with some of the running backs, but
tell your doctor if you have kidney or liver problems, HIV-1, or plan to become pregnant or breastfeed. Don't take Paxlovid if you're allergic to Normatrelvir, ritonavir,
Eberflus.
ingredients. Serious side effects can include allergic reactions, some severe, like anaphylaxis.
What a good game.
These are not all the possible side effects, so talk to your doctor.
COVID, Paxlovid. Ask your doctor today. It's the Turtles 5,000.
It's like, not only do you have to have the electric player, you have to know how to use the electric player. If you got the LaMichael, you got the DeAnthony, you got the Dante Hall, you got Reggie Bush, you got Taysom Hill, you got Jahmyr Gibbs. Literally Jahmyr Gibbs is so athletic, you could literally play him at anything. Running back, wide receiver, you could put him in the slot. You know what I'm saying? You could have 2 running backs in. He can catch. Like, running backs and catch are real special. Only one timeout left. Mental health. Take care of yourself. Help others. That's what's important in life. Helping. Philadelphia, Tampa Bay. Go Bucks. 2nd down and 9. First down. I'm going to say Brown. Very close to being over.
But that route was a little slice of brilliance right there by St. Brown. At the very end of the route, he went into the defender to almost gain rebound position, come back to the ball, and man, I tell you what, when your head coach believes in your ability to make that game,
Yeah, because he's a top 5 wide receiver in the game. Why wouldn't you believe? It's like that's what you should have been doing the whole game when the game is on the line. If you start losing momentum, what do? They teach you it in the grade school or Pop Warner. You go to your fucking best player, whether that's the coach's son or not. If you're fucking struggling, what do? You give it to your best player. They make a fucking play, electricity, boom shakalaka. Then we go get fucking ice cream after the game. Eminem is happy. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Slim Shady. He's happy. Heck yeah, man. Like I said, I've always rooted for the Lions story. Joey Harrington went there and failed. I've always been a big fan of Barry Sanders and Megatron. Penei Sewell is there. They got the right coach, and it shows you can have like a good team or a pretty good team, but if you don't have the right coach and the right identity, it doesn't matter. Like look at the Cowboys, look at the Lions prior. It's like sometimes good, but like for you to be able to have something special, it's a true team effort, and you have to have different personalities come together, and it has to be the right type of people together at the right time if you want to achieve the greatness. Greatness is not achieved overnight. Staffs need to be built, and rosters need to be built over years. Not everything is going to be Bill Belichick. This is awesome. I was like, oh, what if it ends up being like, 25, 24, 26, 25? We literally got a scoregami score, 24, 23. Look at that. Yeah, boy. Whoever had the ball last. They're like, okay, we don't call that pass interference. Boom, shakalaka. Detroit Lions win. Congratulations to the Lions. I see you. Hashtag One Pride. Good for them. It's the better NFL story. More ratings when the Lions are playing, right? But like I said, the writing was on the wall. Yeah, the Seahawks and a few other teams, like when they played the Ravens and got destroyed, and Seahawks played the Ravens and got destroyed. It's like, every week, as we're early in the season, we're going to be analyzing teams. Can they win at home? Can they win at the road? But it shows you can be fantastic like the Cowboys, 12-5, 12-5, 12-5, and look like a Super Bowl contender or a team that actually could win a playoff game or two. And then, if you don't have the right guys upstairs, with the coaches and the play calling and the owner and the GM, it doesn't matter. You're going to continue to fail over and over again. So if you get Bill Belichick in there and you fire McCarthy, that's not going to turn shit around. Maybe they think it is. Pretty awesome, man. All right, what are the matchups now? So how does it all break down? Yeah, but like that one call decided the whole game. I don't know how I feel about that. Because obviously if the Rams play the Niners, there's a bigger threat of an upset. I got to go walk in the snow with my pup. Is there any photos that you guys want to see here before I go for the people that donated? I can always throw up a couple for Mr. Williams, obviously liking the Rams and the Dodgers. Reflect, and a few of the others. You let me know. Michael with the Billy Sims. That was a good one. And I had to give Brett at least a cowboy photo. Well, at least we had one good game in 2 days. Huh? It was a good one. One good game. And then hopefully Buffalo and Pittsburgh end up being fun. But I assume Buffalo should rout them. And then Philly, Tampa Bay. I would assume the Eagles will win, but if somehow the sports gods just want to keep shitting on the Philadelphia Eagles and want to just give Tampa, like, playing spoiler, like you're dog shit too, but we're going to go with you because we like you more, and maybe Tampa will get the win tomorrow if the sports gods love me. So. Barry Sanders happy, Megatron happy. Every Detroit Lion fan on planet Earth, living or passed away, happy. It's like the Cubs, they haven't, hit the mountain with like the Cubs winning the World Series like that, but pretty good for a team that doesn't have a defense. And imagine if they can start to build one at some point. You build a defense and get a top 10 defense, and you got really something cooking. Pretty badass, man. Go Bucks. But it sucks though, because it's like I'd rather have the Saints go so that way I can actually get, like draft capital and go for my future quarterback. The better that Baker does if he plays, then the less chance that I'm going to have a quarterback this year or next year in the draft. And I want to be able to have somebody that I can get excited about, as a franchise guy possibly. I mean, don't I deserve that at least once? But at least I got 2 Super Bowl appearances and 2 wins, so I can't complain. I guess if I never have a franchise quarterback in the draft for like 10 years or longer, that's like always been like a thing that I've always wanted to experience, like what these other teams get to experience. Have like a guy for 10 years straight. Like, I want that. That guy's kind of good. Shout out to all the people that donated, commented, shared. Mr. Williams coming through, $69 dono. Reflect coming through with a $31 dono. Michael coming through with a $5 dono. Nice job, Jared Goff and the Goffense. Aiden Hutchinson, let's go. Yeah, this is going to be the first year out of like a 5-year stretch where they're going to be really good. It depends on if they focus on the O-line and the defense, and if they do, yeah, they might be able to make an NFC championship game or a Super Bowl sooner than later. If they don't, then they won't. They'll just be first-round exits every year. Swag, 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 swag. Look at that crispy photo of Aiden. I'm going to give you the best visuals. Top dog. Yeah. Pressure on the quarterback helps.
This team's special. This team's really special. It's about our team. It's about our team. And it's about the 2023 Lions. I know we just broke a streak that's been going on for 30 years. But it's about this squad. It's about the people in this locker room, in this building. It's about Coach Dan Campbell, what he teaches all of us. It's about us.
Shows you if you have the right mentor in the corner, anything is possible. Like, if you had this whole exact same team, but if you don't have Dan Campbell, then you're probably not here today. So every piece is so instrumental, and I don't think people realize that. It's like you can't just have anybody in there and they're going to be able to have the same type of results. Also, you got to have good play callers and good defensive coordinators too. Nice job, dude. Jared Goff and the Goffense. Meg from Oregon, I love you. Paisley says, woo, woo, woo.
Catch all your favorite postseason content on NFL Plus. Stream every playoff game, wild card weekend, Super Bowl 58 live on mobile. Stay up on the latest with 24/7 football news and coverage on the NFL Network. Watch exclusive off-season coverage of the combine, draft, free agency, and more. Don't miss the postseason action. Check it all on NFL Plus today. Plans start at $6.99 a month.
Paisley, woof, woof. Paisley says, love you, Meg. Love you, Meg from Oregon. Woof, woof. Woof, woof, da woof. Toby in the building. Go Bucks. Hopefully we win tomorrow, and we'll be doing the Buccaneer stream. We'll be doing that, Bucks and Eagles tomorrow at 5. I'm going to go take a walk with Paisley probably for 15 or 20 minutes. And I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very much. Is there anything else that anyone else wants to see? Otherwise, I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm going to eat some food, probably watch some more Superstore. Great show. And then, I'll see you guys tomorrow. And then I'll be watching the Buffalo Bills and the Pittsburgh Steelers go at it, but we won't stream that. And then we'll just stream at 5 for the Eagles and the Buccaneers. Yeah, I hope so. We'll see we'll see if Baker even plays or not, but hey, maybe the sports gods were like, we have pity on you and your shitty football team this year. Maybe we'll just do it for the Bucks and Orion. I'd be like, all right, sports gods, sounds good. So I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. Mr. Williams, $69 dono. Reflect with a $31 dono. Michael with a $5, helping us get to our goal. I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. And the Detroit Lions, huh? We actually had something happen where we got a good game for once. Final score, Detroit Lions 24, Rams 23, the first playoff win in 30-plus years. How cool is that? And then I can't wait to be able to hang out with you guys tomorrow. I love you, and I appreciate you. It sounds like Baker is playing, but we'll find out. What they say, they can change that at game time. So, but I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very much. Sarah, always doing boss things at the lead mod level. Reflect, Toby, Michael, Meg from Oregon, everyone else on Twitter and X that's watching. Shout out to you guys. I love you. And I got one question for you. Who talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, and I'm out. Okay.